Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Episode 3 of Leafs Week. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Episode 3 of Leafs Weekly starts now.
Over the inside corner, strike 3 called. 5 on the afternoon for Sam Green. He's through 3 perfect innings.
Sam Green he's undisputedly their best starting pitcher right now.
But what we saw from Sam Green today, this would not have been possible.
Yeah, he's great. He's been a blessing for us. Came out of nowhere last year. He's got a great arm.
He got the fastball, and he painted it over the inside corner. Strike 3, 2 away.
Definitely the top of the regular season games. Had some fun outings in the playoffs last year.
This one's hit in the air pretty well. Chases Ryan Burnside to the wall. He makes the catch, and there it is. Longest IBL outing for Sam Green, 5 1/3 innings. Looks pretty good. There's a ball hit on the ground to first. Sam Green is rolling. 1, 2, 3. Sam Green has never gone more than 5 innings in the IBL, and now he's gone 6.
All right, joined now by Sam Green from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sam, it's been a really good start for you on the mound. You're starting to go deep into ball games. You're a starting pitcher now in the Intercounty Baseball League. What can you credit this hot start to here for you?
It's a really good offseason. I got a taste of the IBL last summer and, kind of graduating from school and moving out here for a job. Like, I wanted to keep playing, and Damon Topley was nice enough to give me the opportunity to play with the Leafs last year, and I kind of came in not really knowing what to expect, and it just bit me right away. And I was like, all right, I want to be a good pitcher in this league. I'm going to work hard to, be ready for next year, especially the way last season ended with tough loss in the finals. I came back really motivated, especially once we knew we were getting all of our guys back, and the team was in a good spot. It was like, all right, I'm going to do my job to be as prepared as I can be. And happy it's gotten off to a good start so far.
Yeah, and I know you're working on stuff because you came this year and your pitch repertoire looks a little bit different. You've added a slider now to your repertoire. Can you tell me a little bit about that pitch and what it's been like working with that with you and Justin working on that slider?
Yeah, it's still a bit of a work in progress. Last year I was mainly fastball, curveball, and the curveball I would say is still my go-to out pitch. It's a little more vertical. The slider, I was messing around in the offseason trying to learn a cutter, trying to learn a hard slider, settled on, the biggest trend in baseball and trying to throw a sweeper. That was the pitch that ended up working the best for me, just, looking at data and the way I was throwing it in the offseason. It gave me a really good compliment to my other breaking ball, my changeup, and my fastball. So, worked on that and it went well. And, Justin and I are kind of figuring out what spots to go to it right now. There's some days, honestly, yesterday I didn't have it that great. It was more my curveball was better, but against Welland the week before, against Guelph the week before, it's a good just kind of get weak contact in the zone and good pitch against righties. So it's been hopefully it keeps getting better, but it's added an interesting wrinkle. So it's been good.
So is it a slider or a sweeper?
Honestly, some days it's a sweeper, some days it sweeps less. That's something that Justin and I are trying to, we're working through and talking about is it better when it's a little bigger and, sweepier, if that's a word, or is it better when it's a little harder and tighter, and you can kind of it looks more like your fastball. So it's the same grip. It's just some days it comes out a little harder and it's a little smaller break, but some days it's a little sweepier. We'll stick with slider for now. I don't think it's got enough sweep to call it a sweeper, but that was the goal originally.
Hey, listen, from up here in the broadcast booth, we're not going to know either way. So it's no problem whatsoever. I know you're in a kind of an interesting situation with the job that you work outside of playing baseball with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I know that there's a lot of guys in the Intercounty Baseball League. I mean, we talked to John Salazzo last week about his unique job. You just can't escape baseball with your job right now. Can you tell people who don't know where you're working and what you do at your job outside of playing with the Maple Leafs?
Yeah, man, my life is completely, taken over by the game of baseball these days. which I'm not complaining at all about. I'm very lucky and, very happy to be in this situation. Yeah, so I work for the Toronto Blue Jays as a pitching research analyst. It's kind of a mix between, your Moneyball research and development analytics world and player development and coaching. So it's a lot of more trying to see performance data, pitch tracking data, and using that to kind of understand like how to get some of our pitchers to the next level, especially in the lower levels. Yeah, no, it's a very interesting job, and it's given me, taught me a ton about pitching, and I feel it's helped me as a pitcher as well. And then, it goes hand in hand with still playing and still trying to be better as myself. I think helps me, have a little bit added perspective on pitching development. So it's been great. Yeah, it's been a great combo.
So basically, you're the Peter Brand of the Blue Jays now, and you say it's on base. I was going to say as well, it can't possibly hurt you. And you mentioned this a little bit as well. Living pitching so much, maybe giving some of those analytics to some of the pitchers on the Maple Leafs. But when you're on the mound, how much does that help you knowing pitching so well and helping you get batters out in the Intercounty Baseball League?
I don't have the kind of command that major league pitchers do or the stuff that they do. So my work there is a lot more like specified and to like really guys that are, can execute these kind of in-game strategies, where with myself, it's a lot more of like, okay, how can I kind of use my knowledge to, make it easier to get fastball strikes or curveball called strikes. I think what a part of like the slider development was honestly being around guys that started throwing sweepers all the time and like seeing how easy, it's not easy to do, but seeing how relatively easy of a pitch it is to learn compared to some other pitches. So I figured I'd give it a shot. Being around really elite pitchers has kind of helped me with my mentality of like how I go about my work in between starts and mentality on the mound more than anything. So, yeah.
Well, you've been having these 3 great starts on the mound for the Maple Leafs, so it sparked me to have a lot of conversations about you to your teammates as well. And a lot of the time when we talk about you, they say, yeah, this guy kind of came out of nowhere last year and just kind of inserted himself in the Intercounty Baseball League. We know that's not the case. You didn't come out of nowhere. What's your background in baseball, and where did Sam Green come out of coming into the IBL?
I kind of did come out of nowhere. I grew up in the States, played travel and high school ball there. But my mom's side of the family is Quebecois. So I ended up going to school in Montreal. I went to McGill, good baseball program there. And that's kind of where I, got a lot better as a pitcher, started throwing a lot harder, started getting better command. I played in, college summer leagues out in Quebec for a few seasons, and then played with some guys over there. They're like, hey, you're moving to Toronto. Like, there's a great league, the Intercounty. And I'd heard about it before. I had some good buddies with me that played in McGill. They played here too, or not for Toronto, but London or Kitchener or different teams. They're like, hey, there's a team right downtown Toronto. Like, you should, reach out to their coach. So I reached out to Topley in the winter of, like before the 2022 season. I'm like, hey, here's some video of me. Well, he asked the same question you did. Where'd you come from? Like, where'd you play? I was like, well, I haven't really played anywhere super high, high level, but would love to come and throw a bullpen for you and see, see what you think. And just looking for a spot to pitch this summer. And couldn't be happier with where I ended up. Like, the Leafs are an incredible team, surrounded by an awesome team. So like I said, got bit by it last summer. I was like, I need to get better and kind of prove myself even more this year. So it's been a fun ride.
Well, the Leafs fans in Toronto are loving watching you on the mound. So I wish you continued success, and thanks for stopping by and chatting with us.
Appreciate it, Thomas. Thanks for having me. Should be a fun year.
So that was a fascinating conversation there with Sam Green. And I think one of the key takeaways from all of that stuff that Sam Green was talking about for me is that this start by Sam Green, which is exciting for the Maple Leafs, is not a fluke. This is the result of Sam Green putting a lot of hard work over the off season. And I talked to him afterwards as well. And it turns out he's throwing the baseball a lot harder than he did last season as well. In fact, he actually might be one of the hardest throwers on the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. So this is no fluke. I think it's time to get excited about what we're seeing from Sam Green. And, we hope that the success continues for him as well. So the Maple Leafs had a couple big games this week. They played the Hamilton Cardinals twice, and they have one more game coming up against the Hamilton Cardinals. It's a 3-game series. The first one, a 12-5 loss where the Maple Leafs scored all 5 of their runs in the 9th inning, and that was one that they wanted to forget, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But I want to touch on as well, we talked to John Salazzo a lot last week, and one of the things we were talking about was John Salazzo's home run streak. He had 4 games in a row where he hit a home run, and he hit all of those home runs with the same bat. And then that bat, as John said, it died a hero, but not happy to have broken that bat that had 4 home runs in a row. Take a listen. John, you had a home run streak going a couple games ago, and then you break the bat that you hit the home runs with. How did that feel when that happened?
You know, it died a hero. Got a single, 2 RBIs, but in my head I'm like, that's my bat, that's my hot bat. But you know what? Just gotta have to start a new streak and with a new bat. So
when I look at John Salazzo, I don't really think he's a guy who needs a lucky bat to be hitting his home runs. But when you have 4 games in a row with a home run and using the same bat, obviously you don't want to break your bat. And as John Salazzo said, it's just time to start a new streak with a new bat. And he's been hitting great regardless of the home runs this season as well, leading the Intercounty Baseball League in RBIs. And the Maple Leafs, they could use some of his RBIs because they got beaten pretty badly against Hamilton. But then just 2 days later, they get a revenge game against the Hamilton Cardinals. And John Salazzo, he was happy to have a chance to redeem that loss that they had just 2 nights prior. John, you kind of have a gift right now because you get to play a team that you took a loss to in your last game. What's it going to be like playing Hamilton today, and is this a bit of a revenge game for you?
yeah, it's definitely a revenge game. You know, they handed it to us on the Friday night. You know, our bats were cold, they were hitting our pitchers, and you know, it's our house today. So it's definitely, the table's going to turn, and you know, we're going to jump on these guys early today.
The 1-1. This is a high chopper. This is going to have to be a heck of a play by Vinicio. He can't get there. It's into center field, and the Hamilton Cardinals lead 2-0 on an RBI single by Luis Bernardo. Looks pretty good. There's a ball hit on the ground to first. Sam Green is rolling. 1, 2, 3. Sam Green has never gone more than 5 innings in the IBL, and now he's gone 6. Part of the Maple Leaf ceremony today. Line drive, and that one is going to be about 2 feet inside the foul line. Dan Mara racing into second base, and he's got himself a double. Hit in the air. This one's pretty deep to right field. It hangs up, and it's going to drop in the outfield. The runner's going to come to third base and in with what will surely be charged as an error. Pitch to Dutton. This one's hit on the ground. That one's going to get through. 1 run will come in to score. Ryan Burnside is held up at third base, and the Toronto Maple Leafs take the lead.
On third.
Here's one fisted into the outfield. That one's going to fall. J.J. Dutton will race home. As here's a ground ball. That one's going to get through. Bounces off of Charlie Towers. Another run's going to come in to score. And he goes to the fastball, and he got him. High fastball from Alvarado. 1-1. Here's a ground ball. This should end it. High hop for Dan Mara. Flips to second base, and that will do it. So the Toronto Maple Leafs avenge their loss on Friday night. Right, joined by Dan Mara here. It was a good day at the plate for you today. In fact, I mean, you're hitting 400 this year in the Intercounty Baseball League with 2 hits today. How you been feeling at the plate?
I feel great. I wasn't expecting to get off to a hot start. As I age, it gets a little harder to get the back one, but yeah, honestly, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just getting pitches I can handle and trying to stay through the zone, and it's always nice to get off to a good start for sure.
So the next games for the Toronto Maple Leafs are as follows. On Friday, it's the Maple Leafs and Hamilton Cardinals. That's the rubber match of this little 3-game series. That should be a good one. It looks like the Maple Leafs, Cardinals, and the Welland Jackfish are the top 3 teams right now in the Intercounty Baseball League. And then it doesn't get any easier. The Welland Jackfish, that game is on Saturday. And then third game in 3 days will be at Christie Pitts, a 2 o'clock start against the Guelph Royals, who have been struggling out of the gate. and then back to Christie Pitts again on Wednesday. That'll be a night game against the Barrie Bay Cats. Well, appreciate everyone tuning in here to Leafs Weekly, and we'll see you next week. Welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. And for both of these teams, Zach, this is going to be a difficult game in terms of pitching because both teams are on 3-3s, which we know in the Intercounty Baseball League can be tough, and wouldn't be surprised if we're in for some fireworks here this afternoon.
Would not be surprising whatsoever. Like you said, the 3-3s, it's always the hardest at the very end of those. But either way, should be a good matchup. Maple Leafs trying to, shake off some of the unfortunate luck they've had in the first two games, and Guelph maybe trying to come in and upset the Leafs.
Yeah, so the first goal on Friday for the Maple Leafs was they had a 3-game series against the Hamilton Cardinals, and well, they've lost the last two games, 14-5, and then yesterday against Welland, 16-8. And I talked to some players before the game, and there's not a lot of worry in the Toronto Maple Leafs clubhouse right now. One, because their bats have been really good and they're scoring runs. It's just a matter of the pitching in the last couple days. And Sam Green, who's been so good for the Toronto Maple Leafs, he had a little bit of a difficult outing against Welland, but I think everyone's having difficult outings against the Welland Jackfish because they have now won 8 games in a row and are just absolutely rolling in the IBL. Dan Procopio is leading things off for the Maple Leafs, and the first pitch comes inside and hits Brando LaRue. So he's going to head to first base, and that is not the way that Dan Procopio, who's making his first start here with the Maple Leafs, wanted this one to go.
Yeah, unfortunate start right there by Dan Procopio. But just kind of looking at, you touched base about really how well the Welland Jackfish have been playing. 8-2 on the year. The Toronto Maple Leafs sitting tied for third place with the Panthers at a 7-5 record. And then in 7th is the Guelph Royals with that 4-7. So really just look for Toronto to try to bounce back here. And like you said, the players not that worried. Still a very, very good team with a lot of depth on that offense. Just the pitching right now in this third game of 3 is a little bit thin.
So this is Connor Morrow at the plate for Guelph. LaRue, the runner at first base. 1-1. Pitch from Dan Procopio is just high, ball 2.
And Corey Morrow on the year batting .414 in 9 games.
Now he's in a hitter's count, 3-1.
Still looking for his first home run of the year, 5 RBIs.
Pitch is fouled straight back. He got a good pitch to hit and just missed it. Three-two pitch, a big one here in this first inning. That's fisted foul to the left. Maple Leafs trying to snap a 2-game losing streak, or the Guelph Royals, they might be turning things around, beating the London Majors, who are also off to a tough start. There goes the runner, pitches way inside, it didn't matter, ball 4. First 2 are aboard here for the Guelph Royals, trying to win 2 in a row of their own.
And the Royals on a little bit of a hot streak. Last 3 games, they've won all 3. It's all started with a 5-3 win over the Kitchener Panthers, and like you said, yesterday winning 9-6 against the London Majors. So this team on a little bit of a hot streak, trying to ride it.
And it's Ethan Hammond batting .286 on the season. Hammond has a home run and 10 RBIs to his name this year. First pitch is in there for a strike. Looked like a breaking ball that time from Procopio.
Hammond might not be getting on base as much as some of his other teammates with that batting average, but still the most productive guy on this team, leading the team with 10 RBIs. Next closest is J.D. Williams at 8.
Here's a ground ball. That one's going to sneak through into the outfield. Runner will be held up at third base as the ball trickles in from the outfield, and going to pick up that ball. That is not Justin Mara behind the plate this afternoon for the Maple Leafs. It's Ryan Burnside who's getting his first appearance behind the plate for Toronto. And that's one thing that's just great for the Maple Leafs with Ryan Burnside. He's a guy who can play the outfield, he can play catcher, and he also pitches for the Maple Leafs as well. His last start, he went 6 innings. Or his last, I guess it was 2 starts ago, he went 6 innings against London. And then against Kitchener, said he was feeling something in his shoulder, so he's trying to shake that off here early in the season. But no problem batting or playing the field for Ryan Burnside, and he's a valuable tool for Toronto.
Yeah, you gotta love the versatility and the ability to play multiple positions, and really two big key positions in catcher and pitcher.
Pitch is up and away. Dan Procopio comes into this game with a .562 earned run average. So there's a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Gutsy pitch on 2-0, and now it's 2-1.
And this Guelph Royals lineup, it doesn't get any easier. J.D. Williams at the dish, batting .419, 18 hits, leads the team.
2-1. Inside 3-1. There's nowhere to put J.D. Williams. And Daniel Procopio, I was talking to some of the Maple Leafs pitchers before the game. They said Dan Procopio is the hardest thrower on the Toronto Maple Leafs, up there with Sam Green and Janice Alvarado. But he can reach up to 95 on that fastball. Swing and a miss. That was a breaking ball, 3-2. He has a lot of confidence with the bases loaded, nobody out, throwing a breaking ball, 3-1.
And a great location, too, for that breaking ball. You can kind of see Williams just sitting on that fastball there in the hitter's count. Procopio did a good job just crossing him up right there.
Big 3-2 pitch. Swing and it's fouled off the screen. Now the 8th pitch of the at-bat. This one's lined into center field. It's going to send Connor Lewis back to the wall, and it bangs off the fence. One run is in to score. The second one is in. And that's going to go as a single, so a 2 RBI single. The runner had to hold up at second base as well, but the Guelph Royals go out in front 2-0. That was about as long a single as you could possibly hit.
Not sure if it bounced off the fence or if it was just straight off the fence, but either way, just a nice hit right there by J.D. Williams, and he gets his team out to an early 2-0 lead. And it was like I said, the lineup did not get any easier. Williams has been having a sensational start to his year.
Another shot, line to shortstop, flip to second for 1, on to first. That actually took a high hop right at the plate. That'll go as a double play and a big one for Procopio, 2 away. And the runner moves up to third base. I thought that was hit on a line to shortstop, but it actually took a wicked hop straight off the plate. And it ended up being an easy double play ball for Jose Vinicio.
At first, I thought Jose Vinicio was going to take it himself, but quick, nice flip over to Dan Mara.
First pitch is inside.
Be Chris Robinson at the plate right now. Runner 90 feet away. Big hack.
Yeah, Dan Procopio now starting to lean on that fastball a lot more here in the first inning. 2-2 on Robinson. Pitch is over the outside corner, strike 3 called. So Procopio gets out of the first inning. Gives up a couple runs, but gets a big double play ball to limit the damage, and the Guelph Royals lead 2-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll be right back. Well, just about set to get underway here. In the bottom of the first inning, taking a look at the Maple Leafs lineup, leading off, it's Jose Vinicio at shortstop. Then Justin Mara comes in. He's the DH this afternoon. Jordan Costello at first base, batting third. John Salazzo at third. Jesse Hodges in left. Dan Mara, as he always is, at second base. And then Ryan Burnside coming in doing the catching. Connor Lewis out in center field. He's playing his first game with the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. And they will be facing Kyle Thomas for the Guelph Royals. Pitches in there for a strike.
And like you said, leading it off for the Maple Leafs is Jose Vinicio, who has had an exceptional start to his year. .295 batting average, but also 7 stolen bases, which is tied for the team lead with Yoshi Ishihara. And really, once he's been getting on base, he's almost an automatic man at third.
Yeah. Vinicio fouls one straight off the catcher's mask. That's Noah Roberts behind the plate for Guelph. Kyle Thomas has got off to a little bit of a tough start to his IBL career, sitting with an 8.43 ERA, but he's only appeared in 3 games, started 2 of those 3 appearances. Vinicio fouls one off.
Right off the light pole.
Kyle Thomas has allowed 2 walks over 10 innings, which is good, but the 18 hits is what has hurt him. He will throw strikes, and that's what he's been doing against Jose Vinicio, who loves to swing the bat. 1-2. Vinicio, a little chopper. That one looked like it went off his foot, and it's going to hook foul anyway. Kyle Thomas, a big presence on the mound, standing at 6'3", 210 pounds, out of Mississauga, Ontario. Vinicio hits one right back to the mound. Thomas grabs it, throws over to first, 1 away.
And it sounded like Vinicio got a good piece on it, but like you said, the tall presence of Kyle Thomas on the mound makes the easy play, and the quick flip over to first retires a very speedy leadoff man, Jose Vinicio.
First pitch to Justin Mara, who's getting the DH role this afternoon. The infield for the Guelph Royals is as follows. It's Corey Morrow over there at third base, Brando LaRue playing shortstop. Brendan Keys is at second base, and Mike Cicchetto at first. 1-0 to Mara. Up and away. And then Chris Robinson is out in left field, J.D. Williams in center, and Ethan Hammond over there in right. Lots of speed there between J.D. Williams and Ethan Hammond in the outfield. Pitches in there for a strike. 2-1. Ethan Hammond already has 5 stolen bases in his first 11 games. This one's fouled straight back and almost into the press box. I was inches away from going right through the window in the press box. We're not in the press box, which is why we're not too surprised. But
hit right off the top. Would you say crossbar?
Yeah, that was bar down. That was bar down. 3-1 now on Justin Mara.
Or as the kids say nowadays, bar down skis.
Oh, I actually would say that too. I wouldn't mind. This one's hammered deep to center field. J.D. Williams, it leaps and he can't make the catch. Justin Mara is going to cruise into second base.
And just a booming double off the bat of Justin Mara right there. A good read out there in center field, but Mara just so much power. And it looks like such an effortless swing as well. Why he's been so good in his Maple Leafs career and why he's had such a good start to the season. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 15 hits, batting .306 at the start of this game.
First pitch is in there for a strike to Jordan Castaldo, batting third this afternoon for the Maple Leafs, as he has in every game this season. John Salazzo's on deck. He was darn close to hitting a home run in last night's game. Here's a ball that goes off the catcher and gets all the way to the backstop. That's a big 90 feet there for Justin Mara as he advances to third base. Now the Maple Leafs and Jordan Castaldo can drive in a run without getting a hit. And believe me, Jordan Castaldo knows how to hit a ball to the right side.
Yeah, anything on the right side scores Mara from third, and anything in the air as well to the outfield will score him.
Check swing. Castaldo didn't go around. Now it's 2-1.
And we know how smart of a hitter that Jordan Castaldo is. 15 walks to start the year.
Yeah.
Just been really good, very patient, and does a good job working the count as he fouls that one off down the left field line.
Jordan Castaldo doesn't want to work in this situation. This is an RBI scenario. And Castaldo has really good bat-to-ball skills. If he can get a ball up the middle to the right side, that'll score Justin Mara. 2-2 the count now to Castaldo. And he hits one in the air. This one's high and deep to left. That's going to be enough to score the runner. Justin Mara will tag and sprint home. And the Maple Leafs have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1.
And just talk about getting a job done. That's exactly what you want to see out of Jordan Castaldo. Worked a great count and then does a job. Gets the runner home, cuts that lead in half.
So here's John Salazzo, nobody on. Salazzo hammers one. This one's high in the air, deep to center field. J.D. Williams back, and that one is gone. John Salazzo to dead center field. That's 5 on the year for Salazzo. And the conductor has tied this one up.
And you can just see that was a mammoth shot to center field. Oh my. The Bushmen down the left field line are loving it. And just like that, John Salazzo has made this a brand new ball game. Wow, a booming shot.
This one's popped up on the first pitch. Jesse Hodges at the plate. 3 infielders come over. What a catch by Morrow. Coming in and over the mound to make that catch as he called off everyone else. And the inning is over. But the Maple Leafs tied up. John Salazzo goes yard, and it's 2-2 after 1. Mike Cisetto stands in against Dan Procopio out for his second inning of work. It seems like Dan Procopio was close. He's got the stuff. He's got a good breaking ball. He throws really hard. Just maybe missing location just a little bit here early in the year. Gives up 2 runs in the first inning. But you know what? This is a really good chance for Procopio to turn things around. He has really this whole game out in front of him like the white line running down the center of a highway, because the Maple Leafs, they need some pitching today, and they're going to need a couple innings here from Procopio.
Yeah, and we know Procopio has all the skills. He has the talent, has the utilities, and it's just more or less just maybe some unfortunate luck and just some of the way his mechanics are going to start off this game. But we know Dan Procopio can give the Maple Leafs a good length today.
Here's the ball hit on the ground. Jose Vinicio comes over, and it takes a tough hop off the dirt. You could see that going from a mile away. And that ball was at the feet of Jose Vinicio. He had lots of time to get Tichetto running down at first base, but just had that one squeak through. It'll go as a leadoff single for the Royals.
Another thing to look at is there really hasn't been that much hard contact against Procopio to start off the game so far. Really, it was J.D. Williams with the only hard contact, and it was because he hit it to the wall. Other than that, Procopio has done a good job just inducing the ground ball. He got the double play rolled up last inning, so we'll see if he can do it again right here.
Oh, this is Brendan Keys for the Royals. Swung and missed at the first pitch. Here's the 0-1, and it's a bunt. It's a beauty down to third base. Salazzo barehands it, whips to first, picked at first by Jordan Castaldo.
Beautiful pick and a beautiful pick on the other side as well. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Salazzo with the barehanded grab, and Castaldo with the excuse me glove save over at first. All around, what a play.
Yeah, Jordan Castaldo just flashed the leather over there at first base.
Looking like prime Curtis Joseph out there.
Take a look at this. There's the bunt. Salazzo with a great play to get this off the dirt, and oh my goodness. It's just filth over there at first base.
And that's going to be in the Sportsnet top 10 for weeks to come.
Yep. Yeah, they're picking up the game this afternoon.
Of course.
It's lucky. If the Jays keep on this trajectory, they might be. You might be tuning in. Is it still Jays losing still?
4-1. 4-1 update from our graphics man himself.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Welcome to all those viewers coming from the Toronto Blue Jays game that don't want to see a sweep, although the Maple Leafs have also lost 2 in a row. They're trying to turn things around. Here's a line drive. That one's going to get down into the outfield. Runners on first and third with 1 out here for Guelph, and they're threatening again here in the top of the second inning. And you just feel like today might be a little bit of a slugfest here at Dominico Field.
Both teams so far starting off very, very strong with the bats. It all kind of started off with the Brando LaRue hit by pitch, and then Guelph was just rolling. And then on the other side, the Maple Leafs, they just got it going. The bats came alive. Justin Mara got it all going. See here if Procopio can shut it down.
Lined into the outfield, and that one's going to get down. It falls in front of Greg Carrington. Cisetto's going to come in to score, and the Guelph Royals retake the lead. It's 3-2.
Back and forth we go. And really, it looked, the last 2 batters, it looked like they were both good pitches by Procopio, and both batters just able to kind of dump it into the outfield just in front of those fielders. Just the luck a little bit going on the side of the Guelph Royals right now.
Oh, you got to hand it to Guelph here, because these batters came in with a game plan. They know this guy throws hard. They're not trying to pull the ball. A lot of dishing the ball the other way, just getting barreled with the baseball. And I mean, the only big swing that we've seen has been from J.D. Williams, but all these are just, it's a distinct effort to try and get their hands to the ball, maybe stand a little bit further back in the batter's box, and they've done a great job just dishing balls into the outfield.
Yeah, really just taking it where it's at, and they had a game plan. They're executing it very, very well.
0-2 on the third baseman Morrow. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away.
Good bounce back right there by Procopio. And he's already set up for the next batter. He's on the mound waiting. No walking around, means all business today.
So that's the second strikeout of the afternoon for Dan Procopio. Faces the right fielder Ethan Hammond out of Oakville, Ontario. Now has that batting average up over 300 with a hit in his last at-bat. Takes the first pitch, a breaking ball low and in the dirt. Blocked there by Ryan Burnside behind the plate.
And you said it, Ethan Hammond in his first plate appearance, he had that little blooper over into the right field side. Procopio.
Pitch upstairs, 2-0. The one thing that you won't see a lot from Guelph is action on the base path. They've stolen 9 bases all season this year. And if you're wondering, if you wanted a number to compare that to, that's tied for second last in the IBL. The Maple Leafs lead in that department. They've stolen 29 bags already this season. Pitch is in there for a strike.
We've talked about it since the start of the season at how well the Maple Leafs really execute their plan on the base paths, and it really starts with the leadoff guy, Jose Vinicio. Has 7 on the year. He's just been a really good example of why the Leafs are so good on the bases.
Here's the ball hit on the ground. Tough play for Dan Mara on the backhand, and he can't get it out of his glove. Everyone is safe, and the bases are loaded, and here comes a big moment as J.D. Williams steps to the plate. Nearly hit one over the center field fence in his last at-bat. If you want another stat on how well the Maple Leafs have been on the base path, they've only been caught 5 times. 24 attempts, 29 stolen bases this season. Big swing at the first pitch, and it's fouled straight back. One to Williams. Can Procopio limit the damage here in the top of the second as he puts one in the dirt? Good block there by Ryan Burnside. That saved a run.
We talked about how dangerous of a hitter J.D. Williams is, and played last year in his first year in the IBL, batted almost 350 on the year. 3 home runs, 31 RBIs, and again this year's having a great start, 419.
And now he's ahead in the count, 2-1.
Yeah. And he's also now tied for the team lead in RBIs for the Guelph Royals.
2 homers on the year. Inside, ball 3. And if there was ever a time for J.D. Williams to hunt the fastball, it would be now. He might get one right down the pipe here from Procopio. Nowhere to put J.D. Williams again. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped actually into the glove there of Ryan Burnside, and it's 3-2. Williams hitting .418 on the year, up to .432 with a hit in his last at-bat. Runners off, pitch is hit in the air, not particularly deep. Connor Lewis drifts over it. He's under it, gives way to Greg Carrington, who makes the catch, and the Maple Leafs get out of it. The bases were loaded. Just one run came in to score. Procopio is through 2 with just the 3 runs allowed, but he's limited the damage thus far. 3-2 Guelph Royals over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll be right back. So here's Dan Mara for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Arguably has been the best hitter on the Maple Leafs in terms of average this season. Does a really good job of dishing the ball into the outfield. The perfect guy to be leading off this inning. And there he goes, lining one into center field. And that one's going to hang up. Hit it a little bit too hard. J.D. Williams makes the catch. That's one away.
And you said it best, really. Dan Marge having a great start to his year. Coming to the game, batting .412 right there, and makes a good contact on the hit. Hard line drive, but just right at that center fielder.
The last thing the Maple Leafs want to do is get out on one pitch. As Ryan Burnside takes in ball 1. If you can get the starting pitcher out of the game, you're in pretty good shape, because both of these bullpens have been working over the last 2 games, especially for the Maple Leafs, giving up mass quantities of runs in their last 2 games. 14 against Hamilton, 16 against Welland. Big swing and a miss. And the Maple Leafs have been doing a lot of their scoring late in the games as well. Had a big 5-run inning in the 8th last night.
They're just one of those teams where you just can never count them out. Late in games, they love to score. They love to really have those comeback games.
Burnside hits a high chopper to first base, and it is going to roll into foul territory, but it went off the first baseman, so that'll go as an error or an infield single. Either way, Ryan Burnside finds his way on.
And good hustle out of the box right there by Burnside. He realized it was going to be a hard play for the first baseman to make, and it's really hard running out of the box.
So here comes Connor Lewis, the center fielder, longtime center fielder for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he is back with the Maple Leafs. He's been here for a couple games, but now getting his first plate appearance of the year with Toronto. Check swing at the first pitch, but it was a ball. Looked like he was squaring to bunt. That's something Connor Lewis will do. He brings a lot of speed to the table. Had 7 stolen bases last year, but he's got a really good bunter. We've seen him do that over the last couple of years for the Maple Leafs. Lewis hits a slow chopper on the ground to shortstop. second for one, on to first, not in time. Lewis beats it out as he was hustling down the line.
Yeah, you said it, showcasing that speed right there. Comes up big, breaking up that double play.
Greg Carrington has also been one of the better bats to start the season for the Maple Leafs. Although he's without a hit in his last 2 games. Looking to get the bat going again. Craig Carrington will make a lot of contact. And right now, with that high batting average of .333, kind of acting like a second leadoff hitter out of the 9 spot for the Maple Leafs. He hits a high chopper. This is going to be a tough play for everyone. Throw to first just in time. Craig Carrington hustling down the line, but a really good play there by Guelph Royals second baseman Brendan Keys, and the Royals get out of the inning after they take the lead in the top half. It's 3-2 Guelph as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. We'll be back in just a couple moments.
Who's hitting?
Noah Roberts leading things off, and the first pitch is hit on the ground to Dan Mara. So both bottom half of the second and top half of the third start with 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's exactly what the starting pitchers want to do. Kyle Thomas on the other end for the Guelph has been pretty efficient. 22 strikes in just 8 balls so far. A guy we knew wasn't going to walk a lot of batters, but really good to start out the game. Dan Procopio, his pitch count is getting up there. This is pitch number 50 coming here in the 3rd inning, but 1 pitch, 1 out helps a little bit.
And what you're hoping if you're the Maple Leafs is that Dan Procopio can give you at least, minimum 3, but hopefully around the 4 inning range of pitching today, and then obviously you see who will come in after.
1-1. Now to Chris Robinson. 2-1 from Procopio. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
A really good off-speed pitch right there in the outside half. He dirted the one previous, but that one, good snap, good life on the end of it.
Line drive. That one's to the shortstop, Vinicio. What a play. Throw on to first. He got him. Picked again by Jordan Castaldo. A heck of a play out there at shortstop by Jose Vinicio.
Just a beautiful pirouette right there by Vinicio to get that ball. Accurate throw, and Castaldo making it look easy.
Another look right here. This is a big second out for the Maple Leafs. Jose Vinicio nearly catching that one a line, and then look at Jordan Castaldo over there at first base. Digging it out of the dirt. Sassetto at the plate. The first baseman for Guelph. Takes upstairs, now 1-1. Here's one skied in the air, not particularly deep. Drifting over is Connor Lewis. He's under it, he makes the catch, and that'll do it. Dan Procopio comes back, gets a 1-2-3 inning. And the Maple Leafs put up their own scoreless inning after a scoreless bottom half of the second. We head to the bottom of the third. The bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. They trail 3-2 to Guelph. John Salazzo is a guy with a ton of power, and right on cue, John Salazzo crushes one to left field, and it's gone. John Salazzo giving the choo-choo celebration with his fist as he rounds. That one's for the Bushman. John Salazzo, when he's not playing baseball, is a conductor, driving a train.
All right, as we bring in John Salazzo now. John, we saw you the other night hit a home run, and you're coming around the base path and you're doing the conductor celebration, and we all know that that's your nickname, but it kind of inspired me to dig into this a little bit. Can you give me kind of a rundown of what that's like playing in the Intercounty Baseball League and being a conductor? What does your day look like?
It's a grind, honestly. Let's say we'll pick Wednesday, a Wednesday night game at the Pits. You know, I'll get up around, like, say, 2 o'clock, preparation for the field, get my lunch ready, you know, pack up, and then I'm heading down to the Pits around, you know, 4:30. BP starts at 5:30. We play the game. I got to leave the game and shower by 10:30 the latest to make it to work at 11. And so sometimes you'll see me running through center field trying to go to the clubhouse to do a quick shower as I go to the Bushman, give them the, you know, the choo-choo sound. But yeah, so I'm working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and I'm in bed probably by 8 a.m. And then if we have a road game on a Thursday, you know, it's a quick turnaround for me, maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep and back at it all over again.
Jose Vinicio leading things off, swings and fouls off the first pitch right at the plate. Kyle Thomas back on the mound, worked a scoreless inning in the second. Both Maple Leafs runs coming in the first inning. The latest on a John Salazzo moonshot to dead center field. Swing a little chopper to the left side, as you just saw in that video there between innings with John Salazzo. That home run celebration that he does every time coming around third base, an ode to his job that he will probably go and work in a couple hours after this game is over. As a conductor, driving trains.
Got to rush on over, obviously.
0-2. Pitch in the dirt. John says that it's more of an issue for the night games. He has time to get to his job when it's an afternoon game here at Christie Pitts, but you'll see John Salazzo hustling at about 10 o'clock. He has to leave here at about 10:30, get his shower in. That'll be on Wednesday night games that it becomes a problem, or away games that start late.
But dedication, you got to go back to conducting.
Just like incredible dedication.
And I got a chance to message with
John Salazzo a little bit over Instagram. And one of the key things that stood out to me, and I was laughing a little bit afterwards, was he said, "Let's keep it rolling," and he spammed some train emojis.
Yeah, yeah, he's into it too. Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, he plays right into it.
At the time, texted him. I didn't realize, and then I looked back at after. I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's keep it rolling with the trains. Yeah. We got to get the signature, the train whistle.
1-2. Hit on the ground to third. Diving. Stop by Morrow. Whip to first. In time, he got him.
What a play.
Corey Morrow. Oh, my. Let's take another look. John Salazzo is.
And just sometimes you just got to tip your cap if you're Jose Vinicio, because that was just a sensational diving grab by Corey Morrow.
Yeah, Vinicio hit an absolute scorcher there at third base. Here's another look at it right here. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
And then the pick at first base by Sassetto as
just
well.
To top it all off, the pick at first. And we've seen some already great defensive plays in this game by both third basemen. Salazzo did it earlier, and now Morrow said, "Whatever you can do, I can do better." With the diving stab.
Yeah, that bare hand play as well. 1-1 here to Mara. That one's in there for a strike. Third base is such a tough position, especially when you don't play in Major League Baseball, where every single infield is perfectly groomed and you get some tough hops. They call it the hot corner,
for
but
a reason, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the hot corner with a tough hop is just brutal. Swing and a miss. We saw Aiden McCaskey a couple games ago take a tough hop at first base as he took a ball off the face, and hoping Aiden McCaskey can get back in the lineup for the Maple Leafs as quickly as possible. But that again in Kitchener, just an example of a tough hop on a scorcher at the corner.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. You said it best. These fields, they're not perfectly managed, perfectly groomed like the Major League parks we see all over. You know, there's going to be some tricky hops every once in a while, and we've seen it here earlier in the season. There was a ball hit up the middle that just took a complete wrong hop.
Strikeout there for Kyle Thomas. There's two away. Give Kyle Thomas 2 strikeouts on the afternoon.
Now batting first baseman number 5, Jordan Costello.
Jordan Castaldo still looking for his first home run of the season. He's got power, and we've seen him hit the ball to deep parts of this ballpark, but hasn't got one over the fence quite yet. 8 RBIs on the year, 15 walks, 15 strikeouts for Castaldo. Hitting .286. Here's a ball hit up the middle. That one's going to get through. Jordan Castaldo finds some green.
And really, so far today, it's just been a lot of hard contact from these Maple Leaf hitters. Been reading Kyle Thomas really, really well. And Kyle Thomas in general, he's done a good job throwing strikes. He's doing his job. There's just these Maple Leafs hitters have so much power, and they're proving it once again. And now the conductor up to bat.
Salazzo takes one for a strike, and his last at bat, John Salazzo hitting one to deep center field, rounding the bases to tie this game 2-2. Salazzo hits one hard again. This one's in the air and a diving play. That one's off the glove of Ethan Hammond. Salazzo picks a big turn but stops at first base. Jordan Castaldo comes to third, and that'll go as a hard hit single and a really good effort in the outfield by Ethan Hammond.
Yeah, Ethan Hammond did everything he could to get to that ball. Just unfortunate, couldn't get enough. They make the catch. Salazzo, though, another hard single, hard hit to the outfield. Runners on the corner for Jesse Hodges.
Jesse Hodges with a heck of a baseball resume, coming out from doing some coaching, but before that, multiple appearances at multiple levels for Team Canada. At the junior level, and then helping Team Canada try and qualify for an Olympic spot just a couple of years ago as well. Jesse Hodges now acting as a two-way player for the Maple Leafs. He's pitched just one inning, but it went really well. Hodges takes inside, and he also throws the ball really hard for a guy that's not a pitcher.
It also helps, though. He played corner infield spots, so
yeah,
playing over there, you're going to have a strong arm. So why not give it a try at pitching?
He hasn't played third base yet. That spot is always occupied by Salazzo. Hodges hits one in the air. This one's high and deep to right center field, and it is off the wall. One run comes in to score. John Salazzo is getting the wave. Now he's held up at third base. Rob Butler threw up the stop sign, and Jesse Hodges hammers a double off the wall. That was a couple feet away from being an opposite field home run, and the Maple Leafs have tied it up.
You can see the banners out there in right center field. Looks like it hit off the top of one of them and just kind of came back in play. But wow, Hodges, what an opposite field hit. Just pure power on that stroke. And Salazzo, he was coming around second with a full head of steam. He wanted to score. But Rob Butler throwing up that stop sign.
Yeah, he would have been out at the plate for sure. Salazzo was at third base as that ball was getting to the infield. So now it's Dan Mara, and if there was ever a time to hit a single, this is it. 2 runs might come in to score. Jesse Hodges doesn't have blazing speed out there at second base. But the outfield is played extremely deep right now here against Dan Mara. That might be a mistake in my eyes with Dan Mara at the plate. He's a guy who can just float one into the outfield.
He did have a really hard hit out his last time up. It's a straight line drive to center field. But even where the center fielder's playing right now, if he hits the similar ball, it's landing in front of him.
This one's lined to center field, and it does fall. 1 run in to score. Jesse Hodges getting the wave, and it gets away from the center fielder, J.D. Williams. Hodges scores easily, and the Maple Leafs are up 5-2.
And went up there with a plan. You said it best right there, partner. Dan Mara, he doesn't need to hit it hard. Just one of those singles into the outfield will score 2. And another Maple Leafs hitter doing a job. We saw Jordan Castaldo doing it earlier in the game with the sacrifice fly. Now Dan Mara, the soft single into center field. And the Maple Leafs are on top.
If Dan Mara is not careful, he's going to raise that batting average into Luis Arias numbers here. Actually, I guess he's already above that, hitting in the 430s. But Dan Mara, it seems like he basically gets a hit every other plate appearance. It's incredible what he's been able to do this season. Meeting on the mound here, Kyle Thomas is going to stay in the game. And now he's given up 5 runs through 3 innings after having a clean second inning. It looked like things might be turning around a little bit for both of these pitchers. No action has been happening in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs, so this is Procopio's game to go about as long as he still feels good. Pitches inside. Ryan Burnside at the dish. Burnside hitting .350 now out of the 7 spot. Burnside hits one foul. And there's a yellow car on the street that has now got, I think that one just nicked the roof, but it's now got hit with 2 baseballs.
We looked at each other because I thought that was nailing the windshield.
Yeah.
Oh.
There goes Dan Mara. Throw down to second base is high, and Mara steals it.
Great speed right there by Mara. And again, it's a big 90 feet. Now you got a runner in scoring position. If Burnside can get something to the outfield, Mara, he has good speed. He can score.
Here's a hard hit ball on the ground. That one's going to get through. Dan Mara getting the wave home. There's going to be a play at the plate, and Rob Butler saw that. He put the stop sign on late. And it's 1st and 3rd with 2 outs, and this 2-out hit train just keeps on going. Here comes Connor Lewis.
One thing I like what I saw right there at third base by Coach Rob Butler is he's getting far down the line, and he's giving his runners just a really good angle for that stop sign. Getting a good idea of what's going to happen on these plays.
Yeah, look at that stop sign. You see how far down the line he gets right there?
Yeah, he's getting far down there, and really it's a good read because with how soft that ball was hit. Hey now, we got one caught up in the fence. So we saw Jose Vinicio hit one off the pole. Now we have a ball stuck in the fence. If you're at home, go buy yourself a lottery ticket. We got some luck going on down here at Christie Pitts.
Connor Lewis hammers one, and it gets down. Short hopped in the outfield. The Maple Leafs are going to score another run. It's 6-3. Connor Lewis racing into second base. That's a double. And the Leafs keep on hitting with 2 outs. Connor Lewis gets his first hit and his first RBI of the season.
The bats are hot. You hear the phrase all the time, hitting is contagious. Well, it started at the top of the order here. Jordan Castaldo got the single after 2 outs. And then John Salazzo followed up. Jesse Hodges, Dan Mara, Burnside, now Lewis. Everybody's just hitting the ball hard all around the field.
Greg Carrington at the plate. He swings and misses at the first pitch.
Having a fun time up here coloring in my little boxes.
Got the scorecard going.
Of course.
This one's hit to center field, and it's going to fall. 1 run in to score. The second run is Connor Lewis. He's in there, and the Maple Leafs are putting up a big inning here in the third. It's 8-3. Greg Carrington, an RBI single.
And the Leafs have batted around in the inning. But one thing I want to say, Connor Lewis, what a great read off the bat he got there at second base. Once it was hit, he was scoring, no doubt of mind. But we're back to the top.
Connor Lewis scoring his first run as well. Jose Vinicio trying to keep the line going, and he's going to pop this one up, but that one's going to be foul out of play. Vinicio came into this game hitting .295. He's 0 for 2 though this afternoon.
Normally we're seeing Jose Vinicio jumpstart this offense, but this time the boys behind him said, hey, we got your back today.
Vinicio pops this one up. This one could be a tricky play for the shortstop, but he's back and he makes it easily. Brando LaRue there to finally end this inning, but the Toronto Maple Leafs, they put up a 6th spot in the third inning and lead 8-3 over the Guelph Royals. Dan Procopio and the Maple Leafs trying to shut them down in just a couple moments. Brando LaRue steps to the plate, the shortstop. For the Guelph Royals. Actually, I think it's Brendan Keys at the plate. Yeah, Keys, the second baseman. Keys is 0 for 1. And he takes a strike, 0-2.
And this is what I like to see from Procopio. A long inning sitting on the bench, but what does he do when he gets back on the mound? Back-to-back strikes to start off the first batter.
0-2, just missed. This will be pitch number 60 coming here from Dan Procopio. Had a really quick 1-2-3 inning in the third. Here's a check swing ground ball to first base. Procopio's got a hustle over there. Flip from Castaldo. They got him. One away. 4 consecutive retired.
And just so far, so good. Dan Procopio really had that little rocky first inning. Second inning, kind of the similar, but looked a lot sharper. Third inning, 3 up, 3 down. And to start this fourth, really good first at bat. He's doing a good job as this game goes on.
Pitches up and away, 1-1. Kyle Cush, the batter.
Singled in his first plate appearance.
Cush swings and misses 1-2. Procopio is starting to get on a roll here on the mound for the Maple Leafs. 1 away, 1-2 count. Ground ball foul to the right-hand side. Cush playing in his 3rd season with the Guelph Royals, starting in 2019, a career .217 hitter in the Intercounty Baseball League. Just outside, 2-2. Kyle Cush had an excellent game a couple days ago against Brantford. That was part of a 15-5 win for the Guelph Royals. He was 4 for 6 with 2 doubles, scored 3 runs, and tacked in an RBI there as well. Cush just fouled one hard off the backstop, and it bounced all the way back to the mound. Procopio throws that one in. So now 2-2 again. Cush hailing out of Guelph, Ontario. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Procopio gets him swinging.
And Daniel Procopio looking so strong on the mound right now.
3 strikeouts. Now Brando LaRue, the shortstop. LaRue, the leadoff hitter, 1 for 1. Got hit by a pitch to start the ball game, and then singled in his last at-bat. Hitting .360 on the year. Dan Procopio looks in. Here's the 1-0. That one's high. Now 3-0. Dan Procopio falling behind the leadoff hitter after getting 5 consecutive outs.
Just take a breather here if you're Procopio. Just make a good pitch here on 3-0.
Outside ball 4. 4-pitch walk, and now the Royals have a little bit of 2-out life. It brings Corey Morrow to the plate.
And Corey Moreau made that sensational dive and catch at third base. The dive and the throw across the diamond. Fouls the first pitch back. And we've been treated to some good defense here today, both sides. Getting in all aspects.
Morrow takes a breaking ball that was way outside. That looked like it may have slipped out of the hand there of Dan Procopio. Morrow takes low. So this was Corey Morrow just a couple innings ago on the defensive side of the ball. Look at this play. Vinicio, the play to third base. What a diving stop throw to first. Man, that has got to be one of the plays of the year. And now he lines the ball into the outfield. Greg Carrington can't get there. It's down and rolls all the way to the wall. LaRue, with that speed, is going to race around. He's coming home. There'll be no throw. It's an RBI double.
Yeah, that's a good answer back for the Guelph Royals. Had that big run, that big inning, given up to the Leafs. They gave up 6, and you get at least one answer back. Get some momentum back on your side, and you have your power hitters coming up.
So now it's Ethan Hammond, and the Maple Leafs stringing together a bunch of hits with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Now a 2-out walk and a 2-out hit by Morrow. Ethan Hammond trying to keep it going. It's 8-4 now for the Maple Leafs. Still lots of time left to go in this ball game, and we'll see what the bullpens of each of these teams looking like as well. 1-0. Hammond fouls it off at the plate.
One for 2 on the day is Hammond. Singled in his first plate appearance. Reached via air last time up.
One. Lined into center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Connor Lewis fields it, but it took a couple tough hops. He'll have no play at the plate, and the Guelph Royals are within 3. It's 8-5. Ethan Hammond, an RBI single.
And these 2-out rallies for both sides. Toronto went on, scored 6 in theirs, and so far for Guelph, scoring 2 after the first 2 batters went down relatively easy from Procopio.
Yuki Narita warming up in the bullpen. See if he's coming into the game next inning for Guelph. Dan Procopio facing a little bit more adversity here. He's got J.D. Williams to deal with at the plate. Ethan Hammond is now 3 for 3 this afternoon. There goes Hammond. Throw down to second base, and it's going to go off the runner. It rolls towards shortstop, and Hammond won't go any further. That's just the 10th stolen base that the Guelph Royals have this season, and 6 of them have come from Ethan Hammond.
And he has the speed. Why not show it off? And again, another runner in scoring position, and time will be called as Rob Butler will go talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, the pitch count's really getting up there for Dan Procopio. He did have a outing where he went 5 innings, but that was in 2017, actually against the Maple Leafs, back when he was playing for the Kitchener Panthers. This season, the longest he's gone has been 3. So he's already through 3 2/3 now. Ryan Wells just starting to get loose in the Maple Leafs bullpen. He's throwing from about 20 feet away. He's nowhere close to ready, you'd think. Here's a ball hit on the ground. Vinicio takes it on a high hop, throws over to first, and that is a big out recorded there by Dan Procopio to get out of the 4th inning. He's allowed 5 runs, but he's given the Toronto Maple Leafs a chance to win. As they've scored 8, it's 8-5, Toronto over Guelph. We'll be right back. Justin Mara will lead things off for the Maple Leafs. He's facing Kyle Thomas, who's back on the mound. We saw Yuki Narita warming up in the bullpen. Big swing and a miss. Off speed there.
And something me and you were discussing kind of during the break is that Kyle Thomas, he's throwing a lot of strikes today.
Yeah, he's been just pounding the strike zone. The official numbers are, so that one is in there for a strike. I wanted that to be 50. Yeah, it's 50 strikes in 17 balls. And when I saw him deliver, I had a pretty good chance that pitch was going to find the zone because
the percentages were looking good.
Yeah, he has
that one
been.
Missed out wide.
Yeah, that's just ball number 18 though on the afternoon. And for Kyle Thomas, I mean, he's been getting hit really hard this afternoon. He's given up 10 hits over 3 innings. This one's another hard hit ball. What a stop there by Saceto. He's going to race to the bag and win the race. First out for Thomas in the bottom of the 4th.
And the field conditions again. We've been talking about it all day long. You saw it right there. Saceto set up early, and that last bounce kind of took it almost over his head. It was a nice grab, and he got the ground out first base.
Yuki Narita is back up in the bullpen for Guelph, and you'd think if Kyle Thomas got into some trouble here, Guelph has a real good chance still in this ball game. They probably want to keep it right here.
It's like another famous artist once said, never say never.
Justin Bieber?
Yep.
Yes.
One for 2 on the year. 1 for 2 on the
year. 1 for 2. I will not hit my weight this year if you keep throwing out references.
Keep throwing out song quotes at you.
Castaldo hits one in the air. This one's going to hang up there in left field. Catch is made by Chris Robinson, 2 away. I think Jordan Castaldo is getting real close to exploding in terms of that batting average at the plate. At the beginning of the season, he was striking out a lot. Now he's not striking out very much at all.
Yeah, looking at his season stats, he has 15 walks and 15 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And I think the scary part is some of those calls really could have gone the other way. So it'd be scary to see what his walk totals could have been if he got some of those ball 4 calls instead of the strike 3. But he's been doing a really good job, and it's been one of those days for him where you're not getting all the offense as some of these guys like Salazzo or Hodges are, but you're doing the jobs that need to be done.
John Salazzo is seeing Kyle Thomas well. 2-1. Rocketed a ball over the center field fence in the first inning.
I think it's safe to say that Salazzo's bat is A-okay.
2 for 2 today. Yeah, and he fouls one straight back.
And once again, these foul balls in our direction, they're getting closer and closer as the season goes on.
2-2. In the dirt, 3-2. Yeah, John Salazzo is seeing Kyle Thomas really well. He might want to be selective here with this next pitch that gets thrown.
If he's seeing that spin of the hand, he's just spitting on the ball low every time.
Pitch, outside ball 4. Salazzo thought about it. And that'll bring Jesse Hodges to the plate, who doubled in his last at-bat.
Doubled, but really it was a matter of inches away from being a home run in that right center wall. Did a really good job just driving it to the opposite side of the field. Did so with so much power.
First pitch to Hodges, in there for a strike, bottom of the zone. So Jesse Hodges now batting .238 on the year with an inning pitched, a strikeout, and it was a perfect inning where he only needed 10 pitches. That came against Hamilton as part of a 12-5 loss. It's actually game 1 of that 3-game set against Hamilton that the Maple Leafs took 1 of 3. Takes over the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. Jesse Hodges is going to have to protect now, behind in the count. And with 2 outs, he's probably trying to drive a ball deep. As you can see, center field is way back there. J.D. Williams there playing close to the wall. Takes inside, 2-2.
Great take.
Two-two. Kyle Thomas trying to get through a scoreless 4th inning. Hodges, check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire. That'll go as a strikeout for Kyle Thomas. And that's just his 2nd of the afternoon in that department, but he gets through another scoreless inning. It's 8-5 Toronto. Guelph trying to creep back into this one. Dan Procopio back out for a 5th inning of work, and he faces the catcher Noah Roberts. Roberts, a 2001 born player out of Cambridge, Ontario, playing in his 2nd season with the Guelph Royals, hit .234 last year in 24 games. So that one's in there for a strike.
Currently on the day, Roberts 0 for 2, grounded to the double play, and then grounded out to second in his 2 plate appearances.
0-2. Up and in. Noah Roberts has got a little bit of power too. He had 4 home runs last year in those 24 games with Guelph. That's really good numbers. 16 RBIs. Struck out 17 times. That was last season. He fists one in the air. That one's going to fall in fair territory. Roberts is going to make the turn. It's in the Maple Leafs bullpen. And Noah Roberts cruises into second with a bloop double. That's his 2nd double of the year.
And perfectly placed down that left field line in no man's land. And then it took that good bounce over towards that Maple Leafs bullpen. Hodges just couldn't get over there in time to hold him to a single. And it's a leadoff double for Guelph.
Yeah, things starting to ramp up in that Maple Leafs bullpen there with Ryan Wells. Ryan Wells really hucks the ball on the mound, I think you could say, as this one's fouled off. He has that bit of a hesitation and then just flings that arm towards the ball, kind of with that quarter arm action.
It's like the slingshot. Pull back and then the quick release.
Yeah. But in doing so, does a good job hiding that ball out of the hand. But last time we saw Ryan Wells pitch, that one gets off the glove of Ryan Burnside. Runner's going to come to third base. So now Guelph with a real good chance to get another run back here against Toronto. Pitch up and away. I mean, the Maple Leafs would love if Dan Procopio could get through this inning with limited damage. That would go a long way towards getting them through this game pitching-wise.
It would be a lot of help for the remaining arms they have in the bullpen.
This one's fouled off. Sam Green pitched as well as Zach Sloan and Adam Mara, and they all threw a ton of pitches in last night's game.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that they would not be available for today's match.
2-2 to Chris Robinson. He takes inside 3-2. The standings in the Intercounty Baseball League go as follows. The Welland Jackfish, who have played 10 games, are 8-2. They've won 8 games in a row. Hamilton in second, and then the Maple Leafs, who have played 12 games, are 7-5. But Hamilton has a bunch of games in hand on them. Pitch up and away, ball 4. First and third, and this could be getting close to the end of the line here for Dan Procopio. His pitch count is at 94. 94 pitches from Procopio.
You'd have to imagine that this indeed would be his last batter. And really what you're hoping if you're Procopio, get it on the ground, roll the double play.
There's a ball on the ground. Is it hit hard enough, though? Castaldo's just going to go to first, and they get one. Procopio had to hustle over there as he approaches the 100 pitch mark, and I would have to imagine that this is the most pitches that Dan Procopio has thrown in a long time.
And with the one pitch batter to Cisetto, that he'll get another one. So this might be his last batter.
Delivers outside, ball 1. pitch inside. I was talking to Justin Mara before the game as well, and said he's not worried about the Maple Leafs 2-game losing streak because the bats have been really going for the team, which is something that's good, but the defense wasn't fantastic yesterday against the Welland Jackfish too, and he thinks that things might have turned around a little bit differently had it not been for a couple key defensive lapses. Maple Leafs made just one error, but just in general, the defense for the Maple Leafs has been a little bit shaky of late.
And it's one of those key phrases, right? Defense wins championships. And showing it really is just the games that have kind of gotten away from the Maple Leafs. It's just the defense been a little bit shakier than normal.
Defense has been really good today, though.
For sure. Highlight plays all over the field.
Yeah, on both sides actually too for Guelph as well. 3-1 to Keys. This is a big pitch. And it's in there for a strike, 3-2.
Can Procopio get his last batter? 3-2 coming now.
Fouled straight back. I don't know that this is necessarily the last batter. I would not be surprised. If he gets an out here, I wouldn't be surprised to see him stay in the game. Up and away, ball 4. And that is going to cue. Looks like a pitching change. No call has been made yet. And yeah, Butler's going to take the ball there from Dan Procopio, who gives up 6 runs. Gets through 5 innings. He was tasked with a really difficult situation, not being a starting pitcher, but you know what? He's given the Maple Leafs a chance to win. He leaves leading the ball game. And when we come back, we'll have more on Ryan Wells, who's coming in. So Ryan Wells comes into the game, and his first task is going to be Kyle Cush. First pitch with that short arm delivery is outside for ball 1. 0-1, outside corner, 1-1.
And if I'm Wells coming into this game, keep everything in the lower half of the zone. You want Kush just kind of beat a ball into the ground right now.
Ryan Wells, a 6.23 ERA, outside 2-1. But in his last outing against Hamilton, had a clean inning. 1-2-3. With a strikeout. Trying to build off that momentum here. Swinging a ground ball, that one gets through into the outfield. Runner's going to be held up at third base as the throw is cut off from Greg Carrington. And now bases loaded with 1 out. And this is a huge moment in the ball game with Brando LaRue coming to the plate.
And a very dangerous spot, the Guelph Royals, the top of their order coming up. And all these guys have been hot, 1 through 4. They've been doing a great job at the dish today.
Pitch is outside. Really, it feels like this game is kind of in the hands of Ryan Wells here on the mound. If he can find the strike zone and roll a double play ball, that will completely change things. This one's hit in the air pretty deep. Greg Carrington racing over, and it's going to be off the wall. Just barely in fair territory. 2 runs come in to score, or 1 run comes in to score, actually. That went station to station. And it's 8-7. My goodness, that one hit the foul pole, but on the fence. That nearly carried out of the ballpark. And no one realized that that ball was going to be in fair territory, so everyone was holding up. And it goes as a single off the wall in right field. That is a miraculously good break for the Maple Leafs if they can find a way to get out of this inning.
I was going to say, good luck right there by the Leafs.
Hit in the air. Jesse Hodges makes the catch. Long throw to the plate. It's on the money, and they got him. What a throw by Jesse Hodges. And he rolls the double play to not only get out of the inning, but the Maple Leafs keep the lead. Oh my goodness, that was fantastic out there from Jesse Hodges, and it's 8-7 Toronto Maple Leafs.
Sensational, great throw. Earlier in the game, we were talking about how good of an arm Jesse Hodges has. And again, right here, you can see it, puts it on display. Gets a great read on the baseball right here, sets himself up, perfect throw, 1 hop. Oh man, beautiful, beautiful all-around play. The Maple Leafs still have a 1-run lead.
All right, joined now by Ryan Burnside. First of all, Ryan, first year here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. When you came over to the Maple Leafs, got picked up to the team that went to the IBL Finals, what were you thinking?
Well, first and foremost, it was excitement. I mean, we played against Toronto multiple times when I was with Hamilton, and it was always a cool experience coming here, playing at the pits, and they have a stacked lineup. We saw that all through last year. And mostly lefties. I felt like, first of all, I felt like I could match the production in this lineup immediately as a left-handed bat, but also as a pitcher. I knew that they had a need on the mound also, and so I felt like this was the perfect opportunity for me.
Yeah, and the bats. Dan Mara gets another opportunity to lead off. It feels like Dan Mara leads a lot of innings off, second time today. Good guy to have leading off. High batting average. Singled in his last at-bat, takes a strike over the outside corner. Look who's back on the mound. Kyle Thomas back at it.
And he's given his bullpen much needed rest with the innings he's been able to provide today.
And they have Yuki Narita ready to go in the bullpen. And by the way, Yuki Narita leads the Intercounty Baseball League in ERA. 143. He's been stingy. What a bunt here by Dan Mara. And the throw to first is not in time. Really good effort there by Morrow. That was a perfect bunt down the line by Dan Mara. Holy.
You said it. Perfect bunt down the line. But again, really, you got to tip your cap to Corey Morrow. On the run, is able to barehand that and make the on-the-run throw as accurate as he did. That is not an easy task. And he just did it to perfection. Obviously, Mara, having good speed up the first baseline, was able to beat it out. But again, we're witnessing a defensive masterclass by these third basemen today.
Kyle Thomas, the strike-throwing machine, is now throwing 88 pitches as that one's outside, 1-1. 60 strikes and 28 balls. Burnside smashes one in the air, but it's hanging up in the outfield. Catch is made by center fielder J.D. Williams, and Burnside is retired. That had a loud sound off the back, but he hit it straight up.
Yeah, if he got a little more level with the swing right there, that ball was hitting the back diamond in center field probably. But just got under a little bit. Guelph able to kind of breathe easy after that one.
Connor Lewis had an RBI double in his last at-bat and came around to score. Lewis takes a strike.
And with his first game back at Christie Pitts, Lewis has had a good day so far. Had an RBI single his last time up.
Dan Mara was nearly hung out to dry over there at first base, but he gets back, thinking about stealing. (8-7) Toronto Maple Leafs. One out here. Here's the pitch from Kyle Thomas. It's a throw over to first base. Back in there is Dan Mara. The Guelph Royals had really a dreadful start to the season, but now have won 4 consecutive games. Lewis is going to foul one straight back again. They're now 4-7, and all of a sudden, a win today, and they would pass the London Majors in the standings. London has just been slow out of the gate, and with Guelph's 9-6 win against London, that helps their case from getting by them in the standings. But as it stands right now, the Guelph Royals would face the Hamilton Cardinals as the 2 seed in the first round.
And Hamilton has looked great out of the gate so far this year.
Lewis checks his swing on a pitch that was outside. It's 2-2. The Maple Leafs this season, they're gunning for first place. They don't care that every team makes the playoffs in the Intercounty Baseball League. They want a favorable first-round matchup. There goes Dan Mara. It was a good pitch to throw on, and Mara is safe. Wow, that was close down there at second base.
It did look like the throw beat him, but I believe the tag was missed as he slid into second.
Another look at it right here. good throw. Hard to see whether that tag was on, but it was certainly a good throw from behind the plate by Noah Roberts. Lewis with a runner in scoring position. He's going to foul one off down the left field line.
Connor Lewis putting together a really good at-bat right now. He's fouled off some tough pitches. And the same when, you know, some close pitches that were called a ball, he's just spit on them. Really working Kyle Thomas.
3-2. Up and away ball four. One at bat there by Connor Lewis. That'll bring Greg Carrington to the plate.
And when you have an at-bat like that, you get rewarded.
Now batting right field, the 15, Greg.
Looks like it'll be Ryan Wells inning in the 6th. No one warming up in the Maple Leafs bullpen. Yuki Narita has, feels like he's thrown 3 innings down there in the bullpen for the Royals.
And you'd hope by now he's loose.
Yeah, well, I mean, he better come into this game at this point because he's throwing a lot of pitches in the bullpen.
He's gotten the side session in for the day at least.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Oh, 2 and fought off again by Carrington.
Now, partner, I gotta ask, what's the strike rate that Kyle Thomas is at now?
Just give me a second here. Fouled straight back. There's another one.
You got time.
68 strikes and 31 balls. 68 strikes in any start isn't incredible.
It's really consistent all game long.
0-2 again. 2 consecutive foul balls, and it's up and away. Yeah, Yuki Narita had last pitched on June 6th, so he is ready to go. Check swing, did he go? No, says the second place base umpire.
And you can hear kind of Guelph's bench not agreeing with that one.
Yeah, the Royals bench is now hollering at the home plate umpire as well. Feels like there's some rain coming in. A cold breeze now coming in from center field. The wind direction has completely changed here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Oh, no, it was foul tipped and dropped by the catcher. So Carrington's still alive. What an at-bat.
I don't know what Lucky Clover or Rabbit's Foot Greg Carrington has in his back pocket, but whatever it is, it's working.
Two. Swinging a high chopper. This probably won't be enough for 2. Yeah, only plays at first base and just barely. Play is made.
After all of that, Carrington finally retired.
So back to Jose Vinicio, who's 0 for 3 today. And I think this is going to be time for Yuki Narita. Yeah, he's already coming into the game.
He's been ready. He has been ready for the past 2 innings. He's been waiting for his moment, and he's maybe about to get it.
Hold on.
Hey now.
This tells me that the Guelph Royals bullpen is extremely short today. But if Yuki Narita comes into the game, he has a very good chance of shutting down this Leafs lineup if anyone were to have a good chance at it. This call has not been made, and I just saw a point over the bullpen. Another point to the bullpen. And that will do it. So Kyle Thomas's day is over. He battles through 4 2/3. And Yuki Narita coming in. And the Maple Leafs will have to try and get to the Inter-County Baseball League ERA leader when we come back. This should be a good battle. Yuki Narita versus Jose Vanicio. Runners at second and third. Could be a turning point in the ball game. Those runners are Kyle Thomas's responsibility. First pitch from Narita is outside, ball 1. I just popped into the score box to get myself a sweater because it's getting chilly here at Dominico Field. And as I did, our scorekeeper, this pitch is low and away, mentioned that there have been 22 hits in this baseball game today. 22 hits, and we're not even through 5 innings.
It's been a very offensive heavy game, to say the least.
2-0. Vanicio pops it up. Is this going to be in play? Morrow goes over to the fence, and it's just out of play. Just.
Look like a couple of the fans there on the sidelines were trying to make the catch.
So Narita back in the count. It's 2-1.
And partner, if you were wondering, and I know you were, the baseball that got lodged in the fence is still
there. Yeah. But I keep looking at it as well. That was a couple innings ago. Vanicio lines it to second base. Narita gets out of the jam. 8-7 Toronto Maple Leafs. They lead the Guelph Royals. We head to the 6th. And the bats and maybe some life for the Guelph Royals coming up as Ryan Wells comes back to the mound for the Maple Leafs.
was like, this is going to be legendary. Then I heard your call, and I was like, yeah.
That was better than 9.
So Ethan Hammond is going to lead things off, and I mean, Zach, if there was ever a situation for Ryan Wells to get through a scoreless frame, you'd think this would have to be it.
Yeah, you got a very, very dangerous two hitters coming up. Ethan Hammond and J.D. Williams, who have been undeniably hot today.
Hit on the ground, and that one's going to squeak through. Well out of the reach of Dan Mara, and Ethan Hammond, that is his 4th hit of the day. He's 4 for 4.
Yeah, all around, just Ethan Hammond has done a good job just getting on base today, setting up the other batters in this lineup.
A 1. Pitcher's outside. It's 1-1. Pitch outside again. 2-1. J.D. Williams, the cleanup batter, playing center field today for Guelph. Williams hits one on the ground. Jose Vinicio has it, flips to second for 1, on to first. Big double play turned by Vinicio and Mara.
And huge for Ryan Wells on the mound.
That was tailor-made. It was sharply hit, just scooting along the ground to Vinicio, who played it perfectly. And that empties the bases with 2 outs now, and Ryan Wells can get out of this, but remember, Noah Roberts has some pop here, getting in the 5 spot. Takes one in the dirt. Noah Roberts was playing at the Arizona Western College before this. Just 21 years old. Takes a strike, 1-2. Ryan Wells 1 pitch away now from getting through a clean top of the 6th inning and seeing if the bats for the Maple Leafs can go to work against Narita. 1-2. Outside. Another breaking ball that time from Ryan Wells is off the mark.
And if he can get through this 6th inning fairly cleanly with the 1-2-3, it'd be big for the Leafs. Bring that momentum back on their side. Guelph has been threatening for the past 2-3 innings.
This one's hit in the air. Connor Lewis comes in about 10 steps, makes the catch. What a job by Ryan Wells. Gives up a leadoff base hit, then turns the double play and a fly out. Ryan Wells gets through a clean 6th inning, and now he's starting to build up some momentum, and the Leafs looking to carry that into the bats. Way back. Justin Mara leading things off. Welcome back. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Bottom of the 6th inning. Maple Leafs leading 8-7 over the Guelph Royals. Yuki Narita into the game, was faced with a 2-out, runners on 2nd and 3rd situation, and got a line out from Jose Vinicio to get out of the jam, and that's the reason that this is still a 1-run ball game. Maple Leafs had a big 3 or 6-run 3rd inning, as this might be one right here. High and deep, and it is way out of here. See you later, Justin Mara. It's 9-7.
No doubt about that one. Justin Mara got every single stitch on that baseball. Wow. The second it was hit, knew it was gone.
Justin Mara crushing one off of Yuki Narita. Here it is right here. Yeah, he knew it, and so did the outfield as well. Ethan Hammond took about 3 steps and then realized it was a lost cause. Justin Mara, what a shot. Here's Jordan Castaldo. He'd love to get his first of the year. Takes in the dirt.
And that's also just a really big insurance run after the 3-up, 3-down inning by Ryan Wells.
4 home runs now for Justin Mara. Castaldo takes outside, maybe a bit high as well, 2-0. Yuki Narita coming into this with a 1.59 earned run average. Fouled straight back, now 3-2. And Narita, yes, he's out of the bullpen, but he's a guy who will pitch a lot of innings. In his last 3 outings, he's gone 4 innings, 4 innings, and then 6 innings. And a game he started. 6 appearances, 1 game started, but he can definitely go multi-innings. 3-2, check swing, and he goes around. Strike 3, 1 away.
Looked like a little bit of an excuse me swing right there by Castaldo. Unfortunate there. First strikeout of the day for him. But I'll bring up another dangerous hitter in John Salazzo.
Salazzo already with a home run today. Slow breaking ball. It's in there for a strike. Another breaking ball there for a strike. John Salazzo's not seeing that breaking ball very well out of Yuki Narita's hand. 0-2, he might go right back to it.
Yeah, Narita's doing a really good job just like hiding the ball and then having it pop out last second before he releases.
Salazzo hits one in the air. That one's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. John Salazzo makes the turn and then holds up. I don't know why Yuki Narita wouldn't have gone back to the breaking ball. He just dishes a fastball down the middle, and Salazzo easily puts that one into the outfield.
4 for 4 on the day is Salazzo.
So you have 2 guys that are 4 for 4. Ethan Hammond on the side of Guelph and John Salazzo for Toronto. Here's Jesse Hodges. He's 1 for 3 with a double. And then Hodges rips one down the line into the bullpen, and
I believe that was Sam Green.
Make the catch, Sam Green. Come on. If you haven't watched the latest episode of Leafs Weekly, it's on the Leafs YouTube channel and Instagram. Definitely go check that out. Sam Green had just some fascinating insight on pitching here in the Intercounty Baseball League. Hodges fouls one off. I talked to Sam Green and I said, you know, whenever I talk to your teammates about you, everyone just says you came out of nowhere. And I said, well, you obviously didn't come out of nowhere, so why don't you tell us where you came from? And he's like, yeah, I came out of nowhere.
At least he's honest about it.
Yeah. But he's just really found his stride, and he said that he was clocked at 93 in the offseason.
Wow.
That's a lot of miles per hour for coming out of nowhere. Pitch is low, 1-2 now to Jesse Hodges. One-two breaking ball just inside. 2-2.
Looked like that could have caught the plate. Froze up Hodges. But didn't get the call.
Nine-seven Toronto in the sixth, looking for more. Hodges hammers one. This one's high in the air, deep to left field, and it is gone. Welcome to the Toronto Maple Leafs, Jesse Hodges. He hits his first home run of the year, and it's 11-7.
First home run of the year is a no-doubt shot. It just disappeared into the trees beyond that left field fence. And you said it best. Welcome to the blue and white, Jesse Hodges.
Drives in John Salazzo, and yeah, he crushed that one deep to left field. Now it's Dan Mara. Mara takes inside. Now Yuki Narita has given up 2 home runs in the inning. Now Dan Mara gets into this one. It's high and deep to left, and oh, it's dropped in the outfield. He hit it to the wall, and Chris Robinson just couldn't make the play. He got to the ball, but it'll probably still go as a double for Dan Mara, who he nearly went back-to-back.
Nearly, and it looked like the wall might have had something to do with why the ball popped out of Robinson's glove. It looked like as he made impact with the wall, the ball just kind of went, it just popped out. And Dan Mara, though, showing some sneaky pop in that bat.
Yeah, he's up to 447 now on the year.
That's above Luis Araya's territory.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4 today. Here's Burnside, who's 2 for 3. Boy, the Leafs are really hitting this afternoon as he fouls one straight back. Coming into this game, the 0-1 is low and away, 1-1. The Maple Leafs were 3rd in team batting average in the Intercounty Baseball League. And listen to these top 3 team batting average numbers. It's the Welland Jackfish as a team who are hitting 340. 340 to start the season. Inside, ball 2 to Ryan Burnside. Kitchener's hitting 320 on the year as a team, and the Maple Leafs came into the game hitting 316. They will have upped that significantly after today's contest.
Yeah, everybody is just hitting so well right now on the Maple Leafs. And there's another example. Burnside goes the other way for a single.
Dan Mara will hold up at third base. Ryan Burnside is now 3 for 4. Here's Connor Lewis. Guelph is in 4th place in that department. They came in hitting 298. maybe even the craziest stat right now in the IBL is that the Maple Leafs are not even close to leading in the home run department in the IBL. This is one that is going to be unbelievable. It's the Kitchener Panthers who are leading in home runs. That's not really the easiest ballpark to hit home runs out of. They have 27 homers in 12 games. 27.
Wow. Who's the next closest?
Welland with 12 and then Toronto with 11. Lined and down into the outfield. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Connor Lewis racing around first base. He's into second with an RBI double. It's 12-7, and the runners are at second and third with just one out here in the bottom of the sixth.
And now going back to the Ryan Wells 3-up, 3-down inning, how big does that look now? The Leafs have rallied. They've scored 4 so far in this inning, and Greg Carrington looks to add to that total.
James Wilson looks ready to go in the Maple Leafs bullpen, so he might be coming in. It's always difficult to bring someone in after a guy is pitching really well on the mound. So maybe Ryan Wells gets another shot. One and one. Carrington takes way inside. 2 and 1. Carrington's 1 for 3. Two homers on the year for Greg Carrington. They both came here at Dominico Field as he takes a strike, 3 and 2.
And one of them being a grand slam that he pulled over the right field wall.
Maple Leafs don't need that right now, though. A single would suffice. Jose Venicio's on deck. And he hits one up the middle and does just that. Single into the outfield. 1 run in to score. The second one is Connor Lewis steaming around third base. He's in easily. And the Maple Leafs have now opened this thing up. It's 14-7.
And these Maple Leaf hitters, it all started facing Kyle Thompson, and they have just been on a hit parade to start the day. Up to 14 runs. Almost everybody in the lineup has hit. The only one that is yet to get on base is standing in the box right now, and you know he wants to join the parade.
He sure does. Jose Venicio. Venicio fouls it back. Yuki Narita has given up 6 runs and 7 hits through 2/3 of an inning. Venicio's behind in the count 0-2 again. That's kind of been the issue with Jose Venicio, if there was going to be an issue with him in the IBL, is that he swings the bat so often that he gets behind in the count a lot. 0-2. Outside, Greg Carrington stealing, and he's in there easily. Throw was way off the mark by Noah Roberts.
Breaks up any chance of that double play happening, but would have been hard to turn with the speed that these two have. And for the second time in this game, we are one batter away from the Leafs just batting, going all over. It's just been sensational. I'm at a loss for words now.
Yeah, it's 30 combined hits between each team, 18 for the Maple Leafs. Here's one, lined off the umpire. Oh man, hope he's okay. That'll be a hit for Jose Vinicio, so now everyone in the Maple Leafs lineup has hit. That was just torched right off the umpire at second base.
Yeah, Vinicio got every stitch of that baseball. And it looks like the ump will be okay. He's just trying to walk it off there.
Yeah, that hurt. That must have hurt.
we heard it all the way up here.
Yeah. Appears to be okay. Justin Mara led this inning off with a home run. Here he
That
is
was this
again.
inning?
I think so.
Yeah, it was.
Takes a breaking ball for a strike. So looking around the league right now, the Hamilton Cardinals have just brought it within 1. It's Welland 4, Hamilton 3. With a Jackfish win and a Maple Leafs win, the Maple Leafs will move up into second place in the IBL standings. If Hamilton is able to come back in that ball game, then the Leafs will remain in third even with a win. Hamilton has that game in hand in the win percentage over the Maple Leafs. Swing and a miss. Mara way out in front of the breaking ball. That's the second out. The only other game that was happening in the Intercounty Baseball League today was the Barrie Baycats and Kitchener Panthers. That game has been postponed and canceled, actually, due to weather. Jordan Castaldo is 1 for 3. And him and Jose Vinicio are the only batters in the lineup, as this one's fouled off the light
Another
post.
one off the pole.
There's only 2 batters in the Maple Leafs lineup that don't have multiple hits this game. We've been very fortunate so far today. We thought there was going to be rain in the forecast. But at this point, this ball game is official, even if it does start raining. Pitch to Castaldo, breaking ball outside.
Yeah, we were checking the forecast pregame. I think it said it was supposed to start raining around 7 o'clock. 6:30 earliest, I believe.
2-1 to Castaldo. Inside, 3-1. So the Maple Leafs have put up 6 in the third and 6 in the sixth and lead 14-7. 19 hits now for the Toronto. Into center field. J.D. Williams is under it. He makes the catch. And that will do it. The Maple Leafs explode for 6 more. They lead 14-7 over Guelph. We'll be right back in just a couple moments.
And welcome back to Christie Pitts. As we have first pitch ball.
This one's fouled back. James Wilson into the game now, a 2003 born player for the Maple Leafs. Big guy, 6'4", 220 pounds, but been off to a bit of a rough start to his IBL career so far as an ERA of 16.20. But he throws the ball hard. Gave up really most of the runs that he's given up came all against the Welland Jackfish back on May 28th. Gave up 400 runs over a third of an inning. So extremely small sample size for James Wilson so far. It's maybe even hard to say that he's off to a rough start. He's barely started, really.
Yeah, well, like you said, only 3 1/3. Hasn't really gone off to any start. He's just gotten some work done this year.
Yeah, off to a rough start ERA-wise, but had a scoreless outing against Kitchener, a scoreless outing against Hamilton. So he's 2 for 4 in scoreless outings. Last pitch June 9th against Hamilton. Gave up 2 runs over an inning, walked a couple. Pitch outside. That's ball 4. Robinson reaches. This is what the Guelph Royals need. They need base runners.
And I believe, if my eyes are not deceiving me, it's Wilgenis Alvarado warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, that's big for the Maple Leafs. And for Guelph here, Alvarado has been probably the best arm out of the bullpen for Toronto. You'd have to say so far. He's been up and down, but he can slam the door. He has the ability to be unhittable. And it's just a matter of control for Wilgenis Alvarado. Gave up a ton of runs in his first outing. But they all came via walks. Mike Sassetto is the batter. Big swing and a miss. Strike delivered there from Wilson, 2-1.
Sassetto on the day so far, 1 for 3. He got a single in the first inning and he scored. Other than that, he popped out to center field, ground out to first.
There goes the runner from first base. Pitches in the dirt. It goes all the way to the backstop. Ryan Burnside has to hustle over to avoid Chris Robinson from advancing 2 bases there on that play. Double play no longer in order now.
And another crazy bounce. And I'm not sure if that hit off of the leg guard of Ryan Burnside or if it hit the front of the plate again. But it took a funky bounce and went about halfway up the fence.
Outside, ball 4. 2 straight walks from James Wilson. Wilson in 3 1/3 inning has walked 5 so far. It's actually only given up 2 hits so far this season. It's just a matter of finding the strike zone. So this is Keys at the plate, and the pitch is swung on and missed. First and second, nobody out. Pitch up high, 1-1. Fouled straight back. Good cut there by Keys on pitch from James Wilson.
If you're Wilson right here, you're okay giving up that free 90 feet if you get the ground ball to try to turn 2 here.
Pitch just inside. That was the breaking ball, and James Wilson didn't like the call. It's 2-2.
And not sure if you can hear it, but Will Janice Alvarado in the bullpen right now is just slapping that catcher glove.
Yeah,
it is so loud even from up here.
Pitches way inside, 3-2. James Wilson is going to have to find the strike zone here. Doesn't want to walk the bases loaded. Pitch is hit in the air. This one's looking playable for Hodges as he hustles over and makes the catch.
That's a big out, number 1 right there for Wilson. Now ground ball ends the inning.
Rob Butler out to the mound to talk to James Wilson. Yeah, that was a big pitch there, 3-2, in danger of potentially walking another batter, but finds the strike zone twice in a row and gets a big out, number 1. And the double play is still in order now. It's Kyle Cush who's at the plate. Kyle Cush, the number 9 hitter, and super small sample size, but he's hitting .538 on the year. This is just his 3rd game that he's played this season. Takes outside. Cush batted .184 last season with Guelph in the playoffs and .063 in the regular season. Really good start with the bat. Pitch is in the dirt, 2-0. James Wilson acting like he may have lost his footing coming off the mound there.
Yeah, it looks like he's fighting the mound a little bit, but also the mechanics. Everything is just finishing low and outside to these left-handed hitters.
That one goes to the backstop from Wilson, and he might be a little bit uncomfortable on the mound right now. And now he's talking to the Guelph Royals dugout. Don't know what he's saying, but I can't imagine there would possibly be intent on a 2-0 pitch in the situation that the game is right now. 3-0, base open at first base, but the leadoff man is on deck. Pitch is way inside for a ball. Bases are loaded. Guelph with an opportunity to get right back in it. And Alvarado is, I don't know if he's loose yet in the bullpen, but the Maple Leafs might want to pull the plug here on James Wilson if he can't find his command. If he stays in the strike zone and you get hit in this situation, then power to the batter. But if you're giving up free bases, long visit on the mound. I think they're just buying time right now for Wilgenis Alvarado, who Maple Leafs probably aren't thrilled if they have to bring him in the top of the 7th inning. He's kind of moving into a closer role for them. But this is the top of the order, and if there was ever a time to bring in a weapon out of the bullpen, it would be now.
The deadliest part of the order here, and it all starts with Brando LaRue.
Pitch is low. Ball 1.
James Wilson right now just needs to slow it down. Take a breath. Don't rush yourself. Just throw strikes.
Up high. 2-0. If he could somehow get a ground ball, that would be massive in this situation as well, although it is a 7-run ball game. And he does get a ground ball. Vinicio fields it, flips to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Dan Mara, I think, knew he didn't have much of a play over there at first base. But the Maple Leafs get an out. Guelph gets a run. It's 14-8, but now there's 2 away.
And honestly, that's okay. Trade the out for a run. That is completely okay in this scenario. And James Wilson just needs to do that one more time. Get a ground ball or a pop fly. And you're out of this inning with minimal damage.
Wilson to Corey Morrow, who's been fantastic at third base today, and he fouls the first pitch off. Alvarado looks like he is ready in the bullpen. This could be the last batter for James Wilson. And if you're Rob Butler, the roadmap might be, if Wilson can get out of this inning, then, well, Janice Alvarado maybe goes 2 innings. Runner from first goes, pitches outside. Burnside doesn't even throw down. They are locked in on this batter, Corey Morrow at the plate.
And this is the guy they need to get because Ethan Hammond and J.D. Williams have been absolutely feasting at the plate today.
1-1. Swinging a foul down the left field line.
And I think that hit off one of the Bushmen.
One, 2. Wilson trying to get out of it. Ground ball. Big hop for Dan Mara, and it skips over him. He had no play. 2 runs are going to come in to score, and that is a tough break for James Wilson and the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's 14-10.
And that's just a tough one. And there's nothing you can really do about that. When that bounce happens and it goes over your head like that, it's just it's Mother Nature at that point.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything about that. Unfortunate break for the Maple Leafs. But right now, just got to focus on the batter. Get that last out. You still have a lead. 4 runs. James Wilson just needs to grit down right here.
You could see that coming from a mile away when Dan Mara decided not to charge in and try and get that ball on the initial hop. It was going to have to be a really, really brilliant defensive play, and it just skipped up over his glove. But absolutely, that should go down as a single. Pitched in there for a strike. James Wilson's starting to find the strike zone now, but he's up against Ethan Hammond, who has not got out yet today. 4 for 4. 0-1. Breaking ball hit on the ground. Second try for Dan Mara. He scoops it up. Had to go a long way, but makes the play over there at first base. And the Maple Leafs get out of the inning, but not before the Guelph Royals tack on 3. And James Wilson getting out of it. Now James Wilson is getting into it with the coach for the Guelph Royals over there on the bench. The benches have unloaded here for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and there is some tension here. I can't imagine that Guelph would have thought that James Wilson would have been throwing at their batters with the kind of command issues that they've had, but it looks like both dugouts are going to...
Yeah, both dugouts just kind of on edge right now. And, yeah, like you said, I don't think that anything that James Wilson was throwing was intentional. It just kind of seemed at the start of the inning he just didn't have any control of his pitches. He finally started finding it afterwards, but I don't think there was any intent behind any of the wild pitches he threw.
And the interesting thing that I just want to point out before we go to break is the only 2 people that came to talk to each other were Yoshi Ishihara and Yuki Narita, who I could imagine were probably speaking Japanese to each other. And they were the ones doing the communication and having a laugh.
Just both asking, what's going on?
That might be, and they may have just found some common ground to allow these two teams to get back to the benches. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a couple moments. It's 14-10, Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Guelph Royals refusing to go away in this ballgame. They're within 4. John Salazzo trying to extend the lead once again. It's really only been 2 innings that have scored the majority of the runs for the Maple Leafs. The third they had 6, and the 6th they had 6. Salazzo hit a solo homer in the first inning. That was part of a 2-run first. And there's still a long way to go. You'd have to think that Wiljanis Alvarado would be coming out of the bullpen with the exchange between James Wilson and the bench for the Guelph Royals. I don't know if the Maple Leafs want him back on the mound. You'd have to think that would go into the decision a little bit. But Alvarado is either lights out or he walks a lot of guys. That's what we've seen so far. So
We've seen no middle ground.
I think that Alvarado has a lot of abilities, though, for the Maple Leafs. And I would think that he's going to be a key piece in that bullpen. Yuki Narita slipped off the mound, and he might be in a little bit of discomfort here. Both pitchers having a bit of trouble with the mound.
And that kind of goes back to the little skirmish that was going on after the end of the last half. It's just, I think there just might be some issues just going on with the mound right now there as John Salazzo takes the walk.
Yeah, he wasn't sure it was ball 4, but it was. That's down to first base, and here's Jesse Hodges, and yeah, Jesse Hodges has had quite the day at the plate. Hitting his first home run in his inter-county baseball league career, and he crushed it. He also has an RBI double. Hodges takes way inside. Yeah, Jesse Hodges didn't play the last 2 games for the Maple Leafs, and they lost both of them. Pitch is a strike. And I don't think it's completely off the table that Jesse Hodges would pitch today as well. I have absolutely no insight on that, but he's pitched 1 inning and it's been really good. He throws the ball really hard.
As we saw from the putout he had from left field.
Yeah. Oh, he was way in front of that one and just barely got a piece of it. That was that slow breaking ball from Yuki Narita, which, by the way, we should comment, that breaking ball looks absolutely filthy from Narita.
Yeah, Narita has a really good off-speed pitch, and he's been showcasing it today. There's been a couple of times where it looks like it's catching the zone, but the umpire's saying it's dropping a little bit too low.
1-2. Strike 3 called outside corner. Narita got him looking. Hodges knew it on his way back to the dugout as well.
I just need to point out that John Salazzo has been up to bat 5 times today, and he has reached base all 5 times.
Little flare into the outfield. Actually, this one's carrying, and what a catch by Ethan Hammond out there in right field. Wow, that ball carried. That looked like it was just a little poke there from Dan Marr, but he actually got good wood on it. There's 2 away.
Dan Marr has been swinging a hot bat.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that he's getting some more pop in that bat. His last plate appearance, we saw him drive it to the wall. And then this time, just going the opposite way. Really, like you said, it just kept on carrying. And if that was more in that right center gap, that could have been scary and extra bases.
Ryan Burnside, the batter. Takes outside, ball 1. I mean, for the Guelph Royals, they know that they have a guy on the mound who could probably take them to the end of this ball game, and he's gonna be a pretty steady force. This one's hitting the air down the line. Catches made by Ethan Hammond. There's that speed coming over and covering a lot of ground to get the final 2 outs of the inning. And after the Guelph Royals put up 3, they get a shutdown inning and trail by 4 to Toronto. So here is Wilgenis Alvarado. He has to face 4, 5, and 6 in the Guelph Royals lineup. J.D. Williams is the batter. Alvarado delivers a first pitch strike and a second pitch. Hard fastball inside corner for strike 2. That's a really good sign for Wilgenis Alvarado. If he's throwing strikes, he's going to be pitching well.
Yeah, he came out of the gate just throwing hard, throwing strikes, 0-2 to the first batter.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 pitches to get J.D. Williams, who's one of the best batters in this Guelph Royal lineup. So Wilgenis Alvarado gets the first out. And then delivers a first pitch strike that's fouled off by Noah Roberts. Alvarado can get that fastball up around 93 miles per hour, but the big pitch, and I talked to Justin Mara about this, is the slider. And Justin Mara said that it is the best slider that he's seen in the Intercounty Baseball League from Alvarado.
The snap and just movement that slider has, we see it from the top of the hill here at Christie Pitts.
There it is.
Again.
Missed over the outside corner.
That's just disgusting.
It's insane, the amount of movement that it has on it. And I should mention that Justin Mara is the catcher for the Maple Leafs, and coming from a catcher, that's high praise. Another slider. That one's outside, 2-1. Well, Wilgenis Alvarado, though, in this situation, might want to just stick with the fastball a little bit more since he's getting swings and misses on it. He threw 3 fastballs to get J.D. Williams. Here's the 2-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Nobody has been able to make contact with the fastball yet.
Because in your head, you just got to know that he has that plus slider. So you're expecting to see him throw that and have that insane break. But you also have the fastball, and oh man, what a pitch!
2 away. For those that don't know, Wilgenis Alvarado comes out of Venezuela. He's one of the import spots for the Maple Leafs. 22 years old, 6'2", played with the Dunedin Blue Jays in 2022 and single A baseball. 23 games, 45 innings pitched, all in relief. Here's one hit up the middle. That one gets through. Base hit into center field for Chris Robinson, who has a bit of professional baseball experience himself. Other than that, Wilgenis Alvarado's resume is the Florida Complex League and Rookie Ball, the Dominican Summer League, and the Gulf Coast League. So he's played a lot of professional baseball. Command has always been something that's been a little bit of an issue, but in the Intercounty Baseball League, his stuff is really going to play. And there's a fastball to Saceto, who has a big cut at the first one and swings and misses. Now Alvarado just wants to get out of this inning and make sure his pitch count isn't too high so he can come out for the 9th. Pitch, swing, and a miss. Saceto is overmatched by that fastball from Wilgenis Alvarado.
It's just scary when a pitcher like Wilgenis Alvarado has 2 pitches that are just plus pitches that you can use for a strikeout. He can blow that fastball by you, or he can throw that sweeping slider and just freeze a hitter.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. The fastball was in the glove before that bat crossed the plate. Alvarado strikes out the side, and the Maple Leafs continue to lead 14-10. Connor Lewis leading things off for Toronto. And he gets hit. Heads down to first base on the first pitch.
And that'll bring up Greg Carrington. Welcome back to the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm pausing there because I was just looking over at the Guelph Royals dugout. I mean, we nearly had a benches clearing situation here about an inning ago, and it was because of the command of James Wilson. In fact, one of the coaches for the Guelph Royals was really, like, he had to be restrained from running over there to the Leafs dugout, outside corner for a strike. But Yuki Narita, I don't think, is the guy who's going to throw at someone. I mean, him and Yoichi Ishihara were chatting while everyone else was yelling at each other from each dugout, so I don't think there's any love lost there. This one's fisted into foul territory. This is near the wall, but it's out of play.
They were palling it up while everybody else was yelling.
Yeah. Oh, 2. Breaking ball. That was nasty. Strike 3. Carrington goes down swinging. One away. Vinicio swings and misses at a high fastball on the first pitch.
Got his first base hit of the game last time up.
Well, don't go that way. It's too dangerous. You gotta go this way.
0-1. Fouled back again. Another 0-2 count for Jose Vinicio. This time against Yuki Narita. Hits one on the ground to first base. Foul ball. Really good snare there by Cisetto, but went just foul.
Looked like it could have been foul or fair because I think it caught some of the chalk there. But nonetheless, says it was foul.
0-2 again for Jose Vinicio. He's 1 for 5 today. Jordan Castaldo, the only guy in the lineup who doesn't have multiple hits this afternoon. Connor Lewis got a huge jump at first base, and Vinicio, in an 0-2 count, had to foul that one off. He timed it almost, like Narita almost had time to step off before and get Connor Lewis there if someone had hollered it out. Vinicio has battled for 5 pitches in an 0-2 count here against Narita.
This is what we've just seen Vinicio do all day, though. He's been fighting in his at-bats all day long.
Outside in the dirt. That was pitch number 70 there from Yuki Narita in relief. How about that?
70?
70.
Wow. I think it's safe to say that the Maple Leafs offense today woke up from the 2-day slumber.
Line drive, foul down the line. Yeah, but that was the thing. I mean, 2-day slumber, but they still scored 5 runs 2 days ago on Friday, and they scored 8 against the Welland Jackfish. I mean, some of those runs were in against cleanup duty pitchers, I guess you could say. But either way, this lineup hits, and they know it. 14 runs this afternoon on 19 hits. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. Benicio checking with the home plate umpire. He just got a piece of it. Long at bat here against Yuki Narita.
And the boys in blue and white are just really showing why they just kept saying, we're not worried. You know, they may have lost 2 games, but they were not worried about it or feeling like they were slumping.
Lined into center field. Jose Benicio has hit number 20 for the Toronto Maple Leafs this afternoon. He's 2 for 6.
And just let that settle in. Benicio at the top of the order has batted 6 times today.
Yep.
And if we get to that cleanup hitter spot, John Salaz's a chance to reach base 6 times in 1 game.
Wow. Yep. That is a good call there. That is something I don't believe I've seen, actually. 6.
I
Times on
believe
base.
the all-time record, and I could be wrong, but I believe it's reaching base 7 times.
Don't think we're going to get to that. We need extras.
We would definitely need extras.
Pitch for a strike, 0-2. Mara outside corner. Narita caught him with the fastball.
Now batting first baseman number 5, Jordan Huck.
So here's Jordan Castaldo. Takes a breaking ball in there for a strike. No one has really been able to hit that breaking ball from Yuki Narita, and he's got great command with it as well.
Yeah, besides the one big inning that the Maple Leafs were able to get off Yuki, he's been very, very good.
Castaldo chops one foul at the plate. He's behind 0-2.
And that's a great eye by one of our broadcast members up here, Gus Cousins. He noticed that Jordan Castaldo not wearing any batting gloves.
Does he usually wear batting gloves?
Yes. I also did notice after the last at-bat that Castaldo almost threw his bat back to the dugout.
1-2. Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess he's hitting 283 now. I guess that's a slump for Jordan Castaldo. That is a slump, actually, for Jordan Castaldo by his standards. Castaldo chops one on the ground to first base. Nice play by Chichetto. He's going to head over to first, and that will do it. Well, Will Janice Alvarado, it's up to you now. Looking for the 6-out save for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll have that when we come back. So Alvarado looking for a save, and he delivers the first pitch ball. Brendan Keys is the batter. Pitch.
And you see,
for a strike.
You see Keys turning right there, and that's just that off speed. That slider coming in, looking like it's going to hit you in the hip and then finishing into the middle of the zone.
1-1. Slider just missed outside. Alvarado, the slider looks really good, but nobody's made contact with the fastball yet. That's the thing. There's a fastball, and contact was made, and it skips up the middle. Keys is aboard, and some life now for the Guelph Royals. They need 4 runs, but they get the leadoff man on. And if Wilgenis Alvarado has that command intact, they will have to hit their way on. And maybe the slider coming out from Alvarado, because he might know that these batters are hunting fastball. And the pitches that have been swung at have been fastballs. Just a lot of them have been in the catcher's mitt. But Kyle Cush takes high, or maybe inside. It's close.
And what made Alvarado have such a good appearance in relief when we saw him close out that Wednesday night game, it was he had good control of both of his pitches, and he had a really good pitch mix between his fastball and slider.
High, 2-0 now. Alvarado last pitched against the Hamilton Cardinals. That was the last home game that the Maple Leafs played, and he was brilliant actually in that outing, but he gave up a home run to lead things off and then didn't give up anything else. In for a strike, 2-1. Home run. I think it was Lane Renault who just blasted that ball over the wall. He just guessed first pitch fastball and crushed it. And then no one else was able to get to Wilgenis Alvarado. Bottom of the order here. If they can get on, that gives, you'd think, a pretty good chance to the Royals, as this one's fisted down the line. That's a foul ball, says the home plate umpire. Man, that was really close down the line.
It looked like, again, it could have gone either way. I'm not sure if it bounced over the base or if it was fully in foul territory. But the third base coach is motioning over there.
It looked really close down the line. See if this can tell us anything on the replay here. Not really. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest, to try and catch that. That was, problem is on our camera here, that third base is kind of covered by the Maple Leafs dugout, that cover that goes over the Maple Leafs dugout. But yeah, it actually looked fair to me, but it's hard to say from this angle. 2-1. Hit on the ground. This one's to second base. Vinicio flips to second for one. Throw on to first. Not in time, and it skips away. Castaldo will retrieve it, but the Maple Leafs get one out. It's a fielder's choice, and back to the top of the order, and it's Brando LaRue. LaRue has had a good day at the plate. He's walked, has 2 hits in his 3 at-bats. First pitch is low for a ball from Wilgenis Alvarado. Outside corner, 1-1. So Alvarado has struck out 5 batters in 3 1/3 innings pitched. His first outing, he ended up walking 5 over 1 1/3. Then he came back and struck out the side 1, 2, 3 against Kitchener. And then he struck out the side, or he struck out 1 against Hamilton in his 1 inning of work, but gave up that 1 solo home run. And now today he's struck out 4 in 1 1/3. Sorry, struck out 3 so far. This one's hammered. That one gets down to the outfield in front of Jesse Hodges. And that'll go as a single for Brando LaRue. The Guelph Royals just will not go away. And they now have the tying run in the on-deck circle here in the top of the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere quite yet. We might have a little bit more left in this ball game.
And that guy on deck, that's Ethan Hammond.
That's the right guy.
A great day at the plate.
This guy's been pretty good too. Hitting .424, Corey Morrow.
Corey Morrow's look good at the plate as well as at the hot corner.
Yep.
That diving stab happened this game.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That one's in there for a strike. That was the breaking ball. It's 0-2. This at bat, maybe this pitch here might be the turning point here. If Morrow can reach, there's life. If he doesn't, there's 2 away, and the Royals are down to their final out. 0-2. Slider just missed inside. Oh, it was close. It was close. It definitely found the mitt.
And you can see Will Janice Alvarado took a little bit longer, took a little stroll around the mound, had a smile on his face. He thought it was strike 3.
One, 2. Breaking ball. Just missed inside. 2-2. Alvarado, 2 consecutive breaking balls. Does he switch it up to the fastball here? 2-2 on Morrow. Got him. 2 away.
Went back to the slider. And when you have 2+ pitches like Will Janice Alvarado has, you see why he is a dominant pitcher.
Ethan Hammond stands in. Last chance here for the Guelph Royals, but they have lots of potential on deck. Ethan Hammond hitting .340 on the season and 4 for 5 today, and then J.D. Williams hitting .396 on deck.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier even here. Because if Ethan Hammond does reach a very dangerous hitter in J.D. Williams, who has only done nothing but hit in his IBL career, it's just looming on deck.
0-1. Swinging a chopper. That one's going to be foul. 0-2.
And now here you got to think, will Janice Alvarado, what pitch will he go with?
If I'm Ethan Hammond, I'm thinking that this is going to be the fastball, or this is going to be the slider.
I'm thinking slider.
If I'm Will Janice Alvarado, I want to throw the slider. 0-2. Slider got him. Oh, it was foul tipped. It was foul tipped into the glove.
I was partway writing down in the scorecard, and I had to stop myself. So now you got to think again. If you're Ethan Hammond, he threw you the slider. Will he try to sneak a fastball, or will he double down?
0-2. Slider just inside.
He doubled down, and you can kind of see it from here. He has a big smile on his face because he thought he hit the zone there.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Nope, it was foul tipped, and apparently it hit the dirt. Another life.
Check swing, check swing.
Okay,
I'm not sure what just happened. You can hear the Bushmen chanting, "What's going on?"
So I think they're gonna say it was a foul tip, and it wasn't caught, or it bounced before it went into the glove of Ryan Burnside. Well, Alvarado's been close twice, once with the slider, that time with the fastball. Now he can really throw whatever he wants here, ahead in the count 1-2.
Has to be a slider. That's my final guess.
1-2. Inside, 2-2. Slider that time. Guelph trying to stay alive. Ethan Hammond has put up a heck of a fight, and he's staying alive by the skin of his teeth. 2-2 now from Wiljanis Alvarado. Slider, strike 3 called. Wiljanis Alvarado gets another strikeout and saves the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They win 14-10.
An all-around dominant performance by the Leafs. The offense was on fire today. And the closing pitching from Wiljanis Alvarado gives you 2 solid innings. He struck out 5 in his 2 innings of work and just showed pure dominance. But you got to look at guys like John Salazzo and Jesse Hodges having a huge day at the plate.
So the Maple Leafs win 14-10 in a game where we saw 36 combined hits between both teams. The Maple Leafs, 14 runs on 20 hits. They get the win. Thanks for tuning in from Thomas West, as well as Zach Benoit. We'll see you next time.